Chapter 1721. If there's a chance, follow the gentleman. The Golden Eagle clan's fortress had been reduced to rubble in the Second Great Battle. The first time, it still had some semblance of its former self, but this time it was completely demolished. Countless fragmented corpses floated above the fortress. The divine Venerable elders who hadn't believed it before now had no choice but to believe. This great battle had concluded less than a day ago. The blood of those divine kings was still warm. There's the aura of a high-rank divine Venerable. A high-rank divine Venerable has fallen here. That gentleman can even kill high-rank divine Venerables. Who exactly is he? Facing hundreds of thousands of Golden Eagle clan troops alone, and not letting a single one escape, how did he do it? Each elder was in disbelief. Xiang Yan and the others watched with smiles, recalling how they seemed to have reacted the same way when they first arrived. Xiang Yan said, "The gentleman comes from Divine City. At the time, I only received a mission from Divine City, instructing me to cooperate with the gentleman. Later, the gentleman said that his mission was to assist us in destroying the Golden Eagle clan's fortress, but because we were acting too slowly, he chose to act alone. I just never imagined that the gentleman could accomplish so much." Xiang Yan was deeply moved, his words filled with admiration for this unnamed gentleman. Shang Xiaoxing, listening, vaguely sensed something was off. Her father didn't really seem like a soldier. She wouldn't have considered this issue before, but after Lin Moyu mentioned it, she started to pay attention. She thought to herself, father seems to have really changed. After looking around, Xiang Yan announced loudly, "From this moment on, for the next several thousand years, there will be no place for the Golden Eagle clan to stand in the second war zone of the Xuanwu battlefield. I will dispatch troops to sweep through the Golden Eagle clan's teleportation arrays in all areas, cutting off any possibility of them making a comeback." At this moment, Xiang Yan felt a sense of elation. In the Xuanwu battlefield, the human race's greatest enemy was the Golden Eagle clan. Although there were other races as well, as long as the Golden Eagle clan was gone, the remaining races wouldn't be a threat. The warship returned, and Xiang Yan saw everyone off. The battle in the second war zone had ended, and the Jade Crystal Star ultimately belonged to the human race. The Golden Eagle clan's forces here were eliminated in such a peculiar way. At this moment, Xiang Yan's battlefield badge vibrated slightly. He received a message from the Human Emperor Network. The gentleman has left the battlefield. Lin Moyu had left the battlefield. His battlefield badge was automatically retrieved, and Xiang Yan received the message simultaneously. Lin Moyu's battlefield badge was special, containing detailed records of all of Lin Moyu's information on the battlefield. But when Xiang Yan tried to view it, he discovered that he didn't have the authority to access this information. Lin Moyu became even more mysterious in Xiang Yan's eyes. Now that everyone had left, only Xiang Yan and Shang Xiaoxing remained in the meeting room. Xiang Yan asked, "Xiaoxing, did the gentleman say where he was going?" Shang Xiaoxing thought of Lin Moyu's words. He didn't say. "I guess the gentleman might be returning to Divine City." Xiang Yan shook his head. "Divine City just opened a few days ago, it'll be more than half a month before it opens again." Shang Xiaoxing said, "Then the gentleman might wander around in the starfield." Xiang Yan sighed, "It's a pity, I originally wanted to ask the gentleman for guidance on the path of cultivation. Although the gentleman appears to be a divine king, in my opinion, he should be a peak divine Venerable. I've been stuck at the Sixth Order for hundreds of years, unable to make any progress, alas." Xiang Yan sighed heavily, with a bitter helplessness. Shang Xiaoxing sorted out her thoughts. Regarding father's cultivation, the gentleman did leave some words behind. Xiang Yan was startled and immediately asked, "What words?" Shang Xiaoxing said, "The gentleman said that a big fist is the only truth, soldiers should act like soldiers, and not forget their original intentions. Only with an unchanged childlike heart is it possible to break through to a higher realm." Xiang Yan was struck by lightning, frozen on the spot. He frowned, his expression incomparably solemn, muttering to himself, "Soldiers should act like soldiers, not forget their original intentions, a childlike heart. The appearance of a soldier, what should a soldier be like? What was I like when I first joined the army?" Xiang Yan's voice grew softer and softer, until it disappeared. But his expression became more and more solemn, his brows sometimes furrowed, sometimes relaxed, as if he were pondering some complex and profound question. Shang Xiaoxing could feel that Xiang Yan's aura had become very strange. Sometimes it was very strong, sometimes very weak. She knew that her father had entered a peculiar state. She silently left the meeting room. guarding the door, not allowing anyone to approach. After waiting for half a day, the door to the meeting room finally opened again, and Xiang Yan walked out. Xiang Shaoxing's first reaction was that her father had become different. His posture seemed to have become straighter, his aura sharp as a knife, even a bit dazzling. Xiang Shaoxing's memories stirred, such a father seemed to have appeared in her memories. It was when she was little that her father was like this. At the time, her father was already a divine venerable, seeking flowers. As a result, after becoming the regimental commander, he was no longer as he had been before. But now, her former father had returned. Xiang Yan looked at the starry sky, as if seeing a distant place. Shaoxing, if there's a chance in the future, you can try to follow the gentleman. Xiang Shaoxing looked at her father, saying nothing. Xuanwu Starfield, number 1 Life Star System. Lin Moyu left the battlefield and arrived at the Xuanwu Starfield. Arriving here, he learned that there were still 20 days until the next opening of Divine City. His mission had been completed, and he had already submitted the mission through the Human Emperor Network. But the Human Emperor Network told him that his mission rewards would only be issued after he returned to Divine City. When he came out, he was directly teleported out, straight to the battlefield. When he went back, he had to go back on his own. 0. As for the return time, there was no regulation, 10 years, 100 years, it didn't matter. Lin Moyu only wanted to see his rewards as soon as possible. He had overcompleted the mission to such an extent, what rewards would Divine City give him? He was very curious. At the same time, after advancing to the intermediate level, he wanted to go to the intermediate area to look for some things. There were some things in Divine City that were not available in the 4 great starfields, which were exactly what he needed. But now he had to wait 20 days before the entrance to Divine City would open again. Why not go there and take a look? Lin Moyu thought of a place. He had once seen the locations of the other singular stars at the place of the first singular star. The great world is vast, and some strange stars are impossible to pinpoint. However, the locations of strange stars within the human domain are very clear. One is in the Xuanwu Starfield, one in the Baihu Starfield, and another in the advanced area of Divine City. The strange star in the Xuanwu Starfield is located in the Xuanwu 00018 non-life star system. This non-life star system is close to the Xuanwu 018 star system and belongs to the scope of the advanced star system. Let's go there. Lin Moyu decided to go there to absorb the power of the strange star and improve his realm cultivation. He had already absorbed the power of 2 strange stars, knowing that it was good for him. He activated the teleportation array and chose the Xuanwu 00018 star system. But the feedback he received was teleportation failure. To go to the Xuanwu 00018 star system, you need to accept the corresponding task to enter. Looking at the information sent back from the Human Emperor Network, Lin Moyu was speechless. He actually had to accept a task. Damn it. Chapter 1722, Strange Star almost split apart. It's normal to accept tasks, but it's a bit unusual to have to accept tasks to go there. Lin Moyu was too lazy to think about why, and directly opened the task list. As the authority level increased to level 5, the benefits also became apparent. After level 5 authority, there is no need to go to the task center to accept most tasks. Only when submitting tasks, because you need to submit props, you need to go to the task center for verification. In the 4 major star regions, it is obvious that the power of the Human Emperor Network has become weaker. The Human Emperor Network cannot easily interfere with reality here, unlike in the Divine City Starfield, where you can directly accept and submit tasks in any area. From this aspect, it can be explained that the power of the Human Emperor Network is actually limited, not omnipotent. If one day the power of the Human Emperor Network becomes infinite, covering a larger area, and can interfere with reality in any area, then how strong will the human race be? Without the need for an army, wherever the Human Emperor Network goes, all races will flee in panic. Opening the task list, Lin Moyu found the task located in the Xuanwu 00018 non-life star system. After accepting the task, he obtained the detailed information of the task. Level 5 task. Obtain strange crystals. In the strange star located in the Xuanwu 00018 non-life star system, strange creatures are born inside. Killing strange creatures will have a chance to obtain strange crystals. Restrictions. God King level 5 to Lesser God Venerable can accept. Completion conditions. Obtain 10 strange crystals, task reward 10,000 task points. Precautions. The strength of strange creatures is at least God King level 5, and the strongest is Lesser God Venerable. Please pay attention to safety. Additional rewards. Exceeding the quota for obtaining strange crystals will receive additional rewards. It's still the same old wine in a new bottle. After doing so many tasks, I am very clear about the task system. Most tasks are to collect some items, or to eliminate specific creatures, or a combination of the two. From the initial level 1 authority to level 5 authority, the essence of the task has not changed. To make every cultivator stronger in the process of constantly performing tasks. At the same time, safety is guaranteed. Until after level 5, cultivators begin to leave the human star field and enter the wider world of stars. From that time on, you have to rely entirely on yourself. If you are unwilling to leave the human star field, there are still tasks for you to do, but the rewards will not be much. Sooner or later, you will still have to leave. Just like the task Lin Moyu is currently accepting, only those above God King level 5 can accept it, which requires high cultivation. But the reward after completion is only 10,000 points, which is lower than many level 4 tasks. Starting from level 5, the cost performance of tasks within the star field has been greatly reduced. Lin Moyu is very clear about this. If he still wants to earn a lot of points now, he has to leave the star field. You can go to the battlefield, or find other alien races, go to the unknown starry sky to practice, and obtain various treasures. This is the correct approach. Often the greater the danger, the higher the reward. Crossing more than a dozen star systems, Lin Moyu came to the Xuanwu 00018 non-life star system. This star system is not large, with only 5 stars in total. 4 of them are dilapidated, obviously having experienced a great war. At the core of this star system, a star is also nearing extinction, and the fire is no longer bright. Under such circumstances, it is impossible to breed new life. The brightest thing in the entire star system is not the star, but the strange star located closest to the star, only 1 million kilometers away from the star. The strange star still looks gray and white, exactly the same as the 2 Lin Moyu had seen before. The strange star is very large, a circle larger than other ordinary planets, and can even be compared to some smaller stars. It is particularly conspicuous in this dim star system. There are many people coming and going in the starry sky. Coming to this star system will not have other purposes, but to go to the strange star. Entering the star system and gradually approaching the strange star, he clearly felt 2 completely different auras. One aura is lifeless, full of despair, and without vitality. The law contained in it is regarded as the law of death. The other aura is full of vitality. Under the shroud of this aura, people will feel extremely vigorous vitality. This is the power of life in the law of immortality, which is regarded as the law of life by people. The strange star magnified in his vision, getting closer and closer, Lin Moyu's pupils suddenly dilated. There was actually a crack on the strange star. The crack happened to be in the gray and white area, and it stretched into the interior of the star. The crack almost ran through the entire strange star, almost splitting it in half. What level of strength does it take to crack a strange star? Once in the Divine City Starfield, the ancient swordsman and the ancient giant broke out in a great battle. Their power is beyond doubt. The entire star field was shattered, and countless stars and star systems were destroyed. But the strange star was still safe and sound, without any damage. This is enough to prove the power of the strange star. Lin Moyu felt that even those black materials he had seen in the mysterious manner, the materials reinforced with ancient symbols in ancient times, were not as strong as the strange star. But the strange star in front of him was actually cracked. This discovery, its meaning, is extremely amazing. This shows that the ancient swordsman and the ancient giant are still not the strongest, and there are even more powerful beings than them. The road of cultivation is endless. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh. The higher the realm and the stronger the strength, the more he feels his insignificance. The road he has to take is still very, very long. He did not enter the strange star immediately, but flew around it. Lin Moyu was observing the crack. The crack is like a Grand Canyon, and the edges are not smooth. It does not look like it was cut out with a sharp weapon, but rather like some kind of blunt weapon, smashed out forcefully. In addition, in the power of life and death outside the law of immortality, he also felt another aura. This aura is weak and vast, as if it has existed for countless years. Lin Moyu judged that it was the owner of this aura that caused the crack on the strange star. In the gray and white areas of the strange star, two states are presented. In the gray area representing death, there is no one. In the white area representing life, there are many people sitting. They are motionless, seemingly practicing here. Lin Mo carefully observed for a while, and finally knew what they were doing. They are healing. Without exception, these people all had injuries on their bodies. The injuries were not to their physical bodies, but to their souls. The wounds of the soul are the most difficult to heal, and coincidentally, the power of life possesses the ability to heal the soul. It's just that under the unmanned operation of 0.8, this effect is negligible. Perhaps this is also the last straw for those with injured souls. Lin Mo could understand this mentality and did not disturb them. He took the lead in entering the gray area filled with death. Based on previous experience, Lin Mo was looking for the extreme point in the area of death. In a place full of death, there is an indelible point of life. That is the extreme yin in the yang, the extreme yang in the yin, a point where things turn into their opposites. But after searching for a long time, Lin Mo couldn't find this point. It's not quite the same as the previous two times. And the power of death of this strange star is extremely powerful, far exceeding the previous two strange stars. Ordinary God King Tier 5, can't last half a day here. Even the little God Venerable, can only last for 3 or 4 days at most. Thinking, Lin Mo left the gray area and entered the white area full of life. Chapter 1723. The Disappearing Extreme Point, Deep into the Rift. Lin Mo knew before that the power of strange stars has strengths and weaknesses. The strange star in the battlefield is more powerful than the one in the Suzaku star territory in terms of power alone. This one in the Xuanwu star territory is even stronger. Being in an area full of life, Lin Mo also felt a burst of comfort. Strands of the power of life, drilled into the body, spread into every inch of flesh and blood, and finally slowly reached the soul world. It does help the soul, but the effect is not strong. Compared with the power of life he manipulated, it was much worse. He failed to find the extreme point full of vitality in the area of death. Lin Mo was already mentally prepared, and he felt that he should not be able to find the extreme point full of death in the area of life. Sure enough, after searching for a long time, nothing was found. As the controller of the law of immortality, he is extremely sensitive to the two forces of life and death. As long as the extreme point exists, it will definitely be found. After searching in vain, Lin Mo fell into deep thought. There are two possibilities now. One is that someone has taken the lead and absorbed the power of the strange star. If this is the case 11, it means that I am not the only one who has mastered the law of immortality, but this possibility is not high. If someone really controls the law of immortality, there should be information about the law of immortality on the Human Emperor network, so that my law will not be mistaken for the law of death. The second possibility is that the great battle that year almost split the strange star, causing some changes in the strange star. The extreme point is actually the balance point of the two forces, and it is the core of the law of immortality. If the strange star is traumatized, it may cause the balance point to change and change places. Then go to the rift to see, maybe there will be some discoveries. After thinking about it, Lin Mo decided to enter the rift. While looking for the extreme point, he also did the task by the way. 10,000 points is not much, but it is also meat. The rift is filled with an unspeakable aura. The power of life, the power of death, and another ancient and vast aura are intertwined. They are entangled with each other and inseparable. Lin Mo muttered to himself in a deep voice, it seems that the blow that year caused indelible damage to the strange star. After so many years, they are still entangled, and no one will let anyone else. The strange creatures inside the stars should be the result of the two sides fighting. It's like an ancient obsession, the evil souls of the ancient battlefield. Ancient power, after the evolution of time, will eventually give birth to all kinds of strange things. Some can be explained, some cannot be understood. The rift is very deep, like a canyon, all the light has disappeared, and the world has become dim. The deeper he flew, he had exceeded tens of thousands of kilometers in the blink of an eye, but he still couldn't see the bottom. There is no one here anymore. 99% of the God Kings who took the task stayed above. It is not important for them to complete the task. They just want to use the area of life to heal their soul wounds. Gradually, a coercion appeared in the depths of the dark rift. This coercion came from ancient times. Although it was thin, it could make people feel a sense of oppression. Even Lin Mo's soul realm was affected. After so many years, the remaining power is still so powerful, it is really a terrible existence. He has penetrated at least 20,000 kilometers. Ordinary god kings will not be active in this area. Ordinary god kings are looking for strange creatures at a depth of 10,000 kilometers. Too deep, this coercion made his god king collapse. Only little god venerables are qualified to enter here. Finally, Lin Mo came to the bottom. Here, the line of sight has become completely dark, and nothing can be seen. The depth is about 30,000 kilometers. The diameter of the entire strange star is only 100,000 kilometers. If the power was greater at that time, the strange star might really be broken. Lin Mo knew how strong the strange star was. At least he couldn't shake it at all with all his strength. Suddenly he felt a strange feeling, something was approaching him. In the next second, the space around him was distorted, and the bone hell automatically emerged, blocking the opponent's attack. Still can't see anything, the naked eye has lost its function here. The soul induction was also suppressed and had no effect. However, the bone hell has already marked the attacker, and Lin Mo can clearly feel the specific location of the opponent, which is very accurate. With a thought in his mind, the bone hell expanded instantly. The gray bone hell brought a gleam of light. However, the light was very weak and could not spread outward. Only within the area covered by the bone hell could things be seen clearly. Attacking him was a strangely shaped monster. Its shape is indescribable, with a head similar to that of an insect. It has 5 arms, one of which extends from the back, which is very strange and ugly. It is half gray and half white, with a red line running through its body. The 3 colors are distinct, but if you look closely, there is red in the gray and red lines in the white. The 2 colors of gray and white are the law of immortality, and the red line is the power left by the strong man who attacked the strange star that year. When he saw the red line, Lin Mo felt a slight strangeness in his heart. He thought of the ancient swordsman, his sword energy, his attack, were also this blood-like red. The strong man who smashed the strange star and the ancient swordsman are of the same race. This idea suddenly popped into Lin Mo's mind. Although there is no evidence, Lin Mo intuitively thought so. The strange creature was waving its claws there, and the slaves in hell immediately took action and tore the attacker into pieces in a few strokes. Clang! After the strange creature died, a spar fell to the ground. Lin Mo took it in his hand. The crystal was also a mix of gray and white, filled with red lines. It's about what I thought. The power of the undying law and the ancient power are fighting against each other, and over time, this kind of crystal is produced. The Human Emperor Network, those other shore realm big shots, want to study what happened in ancient times through these crystals. But the possibility of being able to research it is not high. Putting away the crystal, in Lin Mo's view, this thing has no value except for handing it in to complete the task. Lin Mo moved quickly in this dark world. The bone hell brought a brief light to the dark world. Along the way, strange creatures kept appearing, but they were all killed by the slaves in the bone hell. Now the bone hell has 4 slaves of the 4th rank of Divine Lord. With them, the strange creatures are not a match at all. Lin Mo easily harvested one strange crystal after another. In just 1 hour, the task was completed. After an hour, Lin Mo finally discovered a clue. In the faint light brought by the bone hell, he saw spider web-like forks. 8 roads appeared in front of him, which seemed to lead to deeper areas. A stronger pressure was transmitted from it. As soon as Lin Mo approached, a huge force was born and directly knocked him back. Can't get close. 10 meters away from the passage, there were gray and white gas masses mixed with red lines floating. In the faint light brought by the bone hell, you could see the space constantly twisting. Lin Mo felt a power similar to the power of rules. Chapter 1724. A passage smashed out with a punch. The power of rules. Lin Mo was slightly surprised, but felt that it was not. This power is not the power of rules, but rather a bit like the power of an ancient swordsman. It's just that now the power of the undying law has been added. Under the entanglement of each other, a new balance has been produced. Looking at the gas mass blocking him, the seemingly weak gas mass prevented him from moving forward. The bone hell covered it, and the 4 Golden Eagle clan slaves who had reached the 4th rank of Divine Lord rushed out and attacked the gas mass. But the attack was useless, the gas mass absorbed all the attacks and remained motionless. The power of the Divine Lord could not shake this small gas mass. Can't get through. Lin Moyu frowned and thought slowly. At the same time, the eye of the soul opened, carefully observing, not letting go of every detail. The power of ancient experts is powerful, even after so many years, its power is still strong. But the undying law is also not weak, otherwise the two sides would not be able to maintain balance at all. Lin Moyu tried to approach the gas mass and slowly reached out to touch it. The gas mass was very soft, like cotton. But as long as Lin Moyu used force, the gas mass would absorb all the power, and at the same time, it would generate a counter-shock force to bounce his palm away. It was the same after several attempts. Lin Moyu took a few steps back and took out the ancient talisman jade piece. The ancient talisman jade piece shone in Lin Moyu's hand, and the surrounding space collapsed layer by layer. It has been a day since the last use, and it can be used again. Lin Moyu originally wanted to use the source technique to improve his realm. But after thinking about it, he didn't use it. If the power left here is from the same source as the ancient swordsman, would using the source technique cause some bad reactions? It cannot be confirmed whether the ancient experts are still alive. Moreover, the ancient swordsman has the ability to cross time and space, and is so keen on the power of the source. Lin Moyu didn't want to provoke them, at least not now. Lin Moyu injected his 6th order Divine King soul power into the jade piece, trying to activate the ancient talisman. The ancient talisman shone brightly, and its power gradually increased. Then he injected the only power of faith into it. Now Lin Moyu knows how useless the power of faith is, it can be consumed cleanly in a few strokes. The ancient talisman flew out and turned into a giant fist. The power of rules continued to spread out, and the attacks around the giant fist continued to collapse. However, this time the ancient talisman giant fist was much weaker than the previous 2 times, only equivalent to the 8th rank of Divine Lord. The ancient talisman giant fist flew towards the gas mass, silently submerged into the gas mass, and then the giant fist disappeared without causing a ripple. Is this the end? Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment. It was such a result, which was too unexpected. After all, it was also a full blow from the 8th rank of Divine Lord, and it was also blessed with the power of rules. It should at least give some reaction. But there was no reaction at all, like a clay ox entering the sea, disappearing silently. It seems that it is impossible to break through forcibly. Even if the other shore realm comes, they may not be able to break through forcibly. Lin Moyu's eyes were thoughtful, and he didn't plan to give up. The eye of the soul continued to start, and the soul power was rapidly consumed. He studied the gas mass inch by inch. The power of life, the power of death, and the red line in the gas mass were entangled together, reaching a perfect balance. After watching for a long time, a flash of light flashed in Lin Moyu's eyes. If I break the balance. If it were other kinds of power, Lin Moyu would indeed not be sure to break the balance. But he is too familiar with the power of life or the power of death. With a flick of his finger, a trace of pure white power of life flew out and fell into the gas mass. With the addition of new power of life, the gas mass immediately reacted and began to roll violently. It works. Lin Moyu was overjoyed. After the gas mass continued to roll for more than 10 seconds, it returned to calm again. Lin Moyu knew it was useful, but the power of life used just now was not enough, and the balance could not be completely broken. Then a power of life 100 times stronger than before flew out, and the entire gas mass suddenly boiled. That look was like pouring water into hot oil. The reaction was extremely violent. The balance was disrupted, and the gas mass continued to deform. A few seconds later, a powerful pressure rushed out from behind the gas mass. The strong wind roared with the pressure, as if a place that had not seen the light of day for countless years was suddenly connected to the outside world. A hole appeared in the gas mass. Lin Moyu flashed and quickly drilled through the hole. The gas mass continued to deform behind him, and what came to him was an ancient and vast aura. He came into this place that no one had ever been to. Lin Moyu was sure that even the other shore realm experts had not been here. For countless years, he was the first person to enter this place. In front of him, there were strange star rocks, like cliffs spreading upwards. On the wall were huge spider web-like cracks, and there were 8 entrances in the cracks. There must be right and wrong in the 8 entrances. The problem that is difficult to choose in the eyes of others is not a problem for Lin Moyu at all. 80 skeleton god generals appeared, each road divided into 10, and ran directly into it. In case there are more forks inside, it can also cope. Mazes and the like have never been a problem for Lin Moyu. Through the feedback from the skeleton divine generals, Lin Mo quickly learned about the internal situation. The inside of the passage was winding and twisting, heading downwards, seemingly aiming directly at the core. Judging from the cracking of the entrance, Lin Mo felt that someone must have punched out such a passage. The force of this punch reached directly into the interior of the strange star, creating a maze-like path. The owner of this punch was ridiculously strong. Quote, I wonder if the owner of this punch is the same person who smashed the strange star. The pressure inside the passage was even stronger, and it became increasingly dim. The interior of the strange star should originally have had light. The undead law presented two colors, gray and white, and shouldn't be like this. But now it was extremely dim, and nothing could be seen. Fortunately, the undead vision of the skeleton divine generals was not affected and they could still distinguish things. The skeletons moved quickly in the spiderweb-like passage. Similarly, strange creatures were hidden inside, and there were quite a few of them. The strange creatures inside the passage were uniformly at the lesser god Venerable realm. Unfortunately, those who broke in were skeleton divine generals, all at the god Venerable realm. The strange creatures were quickly beheaded and turned into crystals. Lin Mo wasn't interested in the crystals, he wanted to quickly find what he was looking for. If I guessed correctly, the two poles of the undead law are inside. With the constant exploration of the skeleton divine generals, the situation inside the passage became clearer and clearer. The 8 entrances eventually converged at the same point. This point was tens of thousands of kilometers away from where Lin Mo was. The path was winding and twisting, forcibly creating countless passages, but ultimately converging at the end point, forming a deadly trap. From this, it can be seen that the power control of the strong in the ancient times was ridiculously strong. The situation inside the passage had been explored and there was no danger. Lin Mo entered the passage and rushed towards the end point. Chapter 1725. Dialogue between Holy Venerables. At the end of the passage, a shrunken strange star was shining brightly. It was half gray and half white, giving it an unspeakable sense of beauty. In front of it, a large blood-colored fist was bombarding it non-stop, smashing it constantly. The strange star was shining brightly, blocking all attacks. Seeing this scene, Lin Mo immediately understood why the outside world was so dark. Most of the strange star's power had been transferred here to resist the fist of the ancient powerhouse. So inside the star, it became dark. The blood-colored giant fist was also like this, it was constantly drawing power from the outside world to replenish itself. However, both were constantly drawing power from the great world, which also kept them from being destroyed for countless years. When he saw the blood-colored giant fist, Lin Mo secretly rejoiced that no one had used their source law just now. Otherwise, it would have inevitably caused a reaction from the blood-colored giant fist. In essence, the blood-colored giant fist was exactly the same as the swordsman he saw in the Maple Forest secret realm. Now he could also be sure that the blood-colored giant fist and the ancient swordsman came from the same place. The ancient times hid great secrets. A thought arose in his mind, and at the same time he looked at the shrunken strange star. The shrunken strange star was actually the two poles. Only they could withstand the bombardment of the giant fist. Lin Mo muttered to himself, no wonder I couldn't find it above, it's actually here. Now he naturally knew what to do, he wanted to help the strange star destroy the giant fist. The method was very simple, just do it like in the Maple Forest secret realm. As long as he didn't use the source law, there wouldn't be any major problems. However, to be on the safe side, Lin Mo still used the Buddha Kingdom Lich. In the bursts of Buddhist sounds, Lin Mo saw the future through the peeking truth technique. In the future picture, he confirmed that there was no problem with his method. Putting away the Buddha Kingdom Lich, Lin Mo stepped aside and waited quietly. He was waiting for the ancient talisman jade to recover. The ancient talisman jade was currently his strongest means of attack. Without using the source law, he could unleash an attack equivalent to the 8th level of the god Venerable realm, enough to destroy the blood-colored giant fist. Previously, in the peeking truth technique, he had successfully solved the blood-colored giant fist based on the ancient talisman jade. Anyway, they had been fighting for countless years, it didn't matter to wait another day. God City Star Territory, in the center of the higher region, there is a circular city. This city is built in the starry sky, magnificent, ancient, huge, and majestic. All words of praise can be used on it without any abruptness. The size of this city far exceeds that of a star, with a diameter of over hundreds of millions of kilometers. At its base, there are 10 stars providing it with energy continuously. This is God City, the God City of the human race. In the center of God City, on the throne of an equally beautiful and ancient palace, a powerful being opened his eyes. Someone has entered the unknown land. Human Emperor, please contact Holy Venerable how to come here. His voice was not loud, but it carried a terrifying pressure. A few minutes later, Holy Venerable How appeared in the palace and saw the being on the throne. Heavenly Holy Venerable, is your divine journey over? The Heavenly Holy Venerable on the throne nodded slowly. Holy Venerable How, I sense that someone has entered the unknown land. As he spoke, he pointed a finger and a picture appeared in the void. The picture showed Lin Mo, the scene of passing through the gas cloud. Holy Venerable How smiled slightly. It's him, it's normal for him to be able to enter. The Heavenly Holy Venerable asked calmly, does Holy Venerable How know him? His name is Lin Mo. Heavenly Holy Venerable can check the information and you'll know. With the status of a Holy Venerable, any information in the Human Emperor network can be checked. After checking the information, a trace of surprise inevitably appeared in the calm and unwavering eyes of the Heavenly Holy Venerable. I didn't expect that during my divine journey, such a genius would appear in the human race. Holy Venerable How laughed. This little guy has already created too many miracles, so it's normal to have one more. And I feel that he seems to have a connection with the events of the ancient times, and it has happened to him time and time again. A gleam of light flashed in the Heavenly Holy Venerable's eyes. Are you saying that he may be a reincarnation of an ancient powerhouse? Holy Venerable How shook his head. I can't tell for the time being, but I don't think it's important. Reincarnations of ancient powerhouses have happened before, but those people don't remember anything and are useless. Little friend Lin is different. Not only does he have a connection with those things from the ancient times, but he himself is also very curious about the ancient times. I think that perhaps through him, we can obtain more information about the ancient world. If we're lucky, he may be able to help us. It is precisely because of this that I decided to let him develop freely and not interfere with him in any way. The Heavenly Holy Venerable pondered for a moment before saying calmly, you're right, no powerhouse can be interfered with. Wisdom, talent, and luck are all indispensable. If he needs our help, we can help him. If he doesn't say anything, we won't do anything. The thoughts of the two Holy Venerables coincided and their opinions were the same. Holy Venerable How asked, this time you traveled for 100 years, how was it, did you find anything? The Heavenly Holy Venerable said in a low voice, there are some discoveries, I'm still sorting them out, I'll tell you when I'm done. But in these 100 years, has there been any change in our human race? Holy Venerable How's smile became even brighter. There have naturally been changes, but they haven't gotten worse, but better. Another Holy Venerable has been added to the race, and he has entered the Tao with talismans. Finally, someone can draw ancient talismans. The Heavenly Holy Venerable's eyes lit up suddenly, revealing an unspeakable joy. Entering the Tao with talismans is really a great joy, tell me about it quickly. Holy Venerable How told the story of how the Shu family's ancestor entered the Tao with talismans and became the talisman Holy Venerable. Heavenly Saint Venerable marveled, never expecting it to be related to Lin Moi. At the same time, Holy Saint Venerable also mentioned Lin Mohan, whose talent shocked him. Not just him, anyone who knew Lin Mohan was shocked. Heavenly Saint Venerable was the same. Lin Mohan's cultivation speed was unprecedented. Heavenly Saint Venerable said in a deep voice, Lin Mohan reminds me of a legend. Holy Saint Venerable also laughed heartily, we thought of the same thing. If the legend comes true, perhaps we really have a chance. The two talked for a long time, mostly about secrets that only Saint Venerables were qualified to know. Lin Moi waited for a day, until the ancient jade talisman recovered. Soul power poured into the ancient talisman, and the little bit of faith power he had just obtained was exhausted again. The ancient talisman was activated, forming a giant ancient talisman fist, smashing towards the blood-colored giant fist. Fist against fist, the two sides collided. The blood-colored giant fist failed to block the ancient talisman fist and was blasted into powder. The giant fist continued forward, hitting the rock wall. Rumbling sounds came from the cave, and the giant fist disappeared after a few seconds. The ancient talisman fist could not yet harm the strange star. Lin Moi took a deep breath. Without the obstruction of the blood-colored giant fist, the strange star would gradually return to normal. Coming to the miniature version of the strange star, he waved the undying law. The undying law divided into two. falling on the corresponding areas. Originally, the miniature version of the strange star was the extreme point, and now it was activated upon contact with the undying law. The entire strange star bloomed with brilliant light, and everyone on it was forcibly driven away by an irresistible force. Chapter 1726. The mystery will eventually be unraveled. Everyone who was originally in the strange star was forcibly driven away at the same time. No matter what level of God King you are, or even if there are God Venerables among them, they could not resist this force. They were driven millions of kilometers away, unable to approach. The strange star bloomed with dazzling light. At this moment it surpassed the star, and the entire star system was only left with gray and white. Looking at the magnificent scene, everyone's eyes were filled with shock. Does anyone know what's going on? Legend has it that the strange star contains powerful laws, but for countless years, no one has been able to comprehend them. Could it be that someone has comprehended the laws within and truly activated the strange star? As far as I know, the strange star is extremely special and has never changed. This change must have its reasons. A god venerable with a pale face and a wounded soul shouted in a low voice, "I don't care what the reason is, as long as the strange star is still there." His soul was wounded, and only in the strange star could his soul be restored. To survive, he would not allow anyone to take away the strange star. There were quite a few people who had the same idea as him, and to survive, they couldn't care about some rules. But now, the strange star's changes have not ended, and they can only watch helplessly. The light of the strange star became brighter and brighter, making it impossible for the God Kings to look directly at it. The enormous power, like layers of giant waves, swept over, pushing them further away. The undying law stirred the starry sky, and even the nearby stars were pushed away. In full view of everyone, the strange star began to change. Originally, the gray and white colors in the star were distinct, and there was a huge crack in the middle, almost splitting the star in half. Gray and white were two completely different worlds. Gray is death, is hell. White is life, is hope. Now, the two colors were actually crossing the boundary and beginning to merge with each other. The boundary between gray and white disappeared. The picture was very strange, but it seemed to be taken for granted. Once the fusion began, it was irreversible, and it quickly became you and me and you. Gray death and white heaven were no longer pure. Changing along with it was the crack in the middle. The crack was disappearing, and the wound that had accompanied the strange star for countless years was healing. Everyone watched this scene dumbfounded. Even the well-informed God Venerables could not explain the changes before them. Many people had studied this crack, but never gained anything. Now, it was about to disappear. At the core of the star, Lin Moi used the ancient talisman fist to grind away the blood-colored giant fist, and then activated the strange star. Powerful forces poured into the soul world, and various understandings about the undying law surged in like a tide, boiling in the soul world. The understanding of the undying law was rapidly increasing, and his realm cultivation was also improving. At the same time, he saw the pictures recorded in the strange star. In the distant past, a powerful being holding a stick appeared on the strange star. The stick became larger in the starry sky, like a pillar of the sky, smashing on the strange star, instantly smashing a huge crack in the strange star, almost causing it to completely break. Space shattered, and the strange star was smashed into the spatial turbulence, flying towards a distant world. At this time, another ancient powerhouse shattered the void, rushed into the crack from the spatial turbulence, came to the core of the strange star, and slammed out a punch. The strange star shook violently, bursting out with gray and white colors, forcibly blasting him away. Then, the strange star broke through layers of space at an unimaginable speed and disappeared. The strange star flew in a bizarre world, constantly absorbing energy from the outside world during the flight, and fighting against the invading forces. I don't know how long it flew. Lin Moi only knew that the flight speed was very fast, far exceeding the speed of light. Finally, it came to the current Xuanwu starfield and finally stopped. The crack on its body had also stabilized. Although it could not be restored, it did not continue to deteriorate and did not really break. At that time, there were a large number of planets in the Xuanwu starfield. The strange star, this outsider, caused chaos in the star system as soon as it entered. A large number of planets were smashed to pieces by the strange star, and even the star was hit by it. The reason why the star is so dim is also because part of its energy was absorbed by the strange star. The picture disappeared, and Lin Moi's thoughts returned to reality. The long picture just now had actually only passed a few seconds in the real world. Lin Moi murmured, "It's about what I expected, it's this process." One before the other, two ancient powerhouses launched an attack on the strange star. The one wielding the stick is stronger than the one using his fists. The two ancient powerhouses should be in the same camp as the ancient swordsmen in the God City Starfield. In this way, the scope of that great battle back then was incredibly astonishing. But why did they want to deal with the strange star? The strange star is just a star, is there anything special about it? Lin Moi thought of the picture he had seen in the secret realm, when the ancient swordsman and the ancient giant were fighting, the ancient swordsman had also attacked the strange star. At that time, he didn't think anything of it, thinking it was just an interlude in the battle. Now it seems that the strange star was also one of their targets. It's another unsolved mystery. Lin Moi sighed softly in his heart, the things he came into contact with were becoming more and more mysterious. Although there were more and more mysteries, Lin Moi felt that he was getting closer and closer to the truth. Perhaps one day, when a certain mystery is solved, all mysteries will unravel. When all the mysteries are solved, Lin Mo believes he might be powerful enough to defy fate for his wife. The expectation in his heart has never diminished, and it is one of the driving forces behind his constant progress. His understanding of the law of immortality continues to deepen, and his cultivation realm is improving at an astonishing rate. Soon, he reached the limit of rank 6 God King, and the bottleneck shattered like a bubble. Lin Mo's aura surged, officially entering rank 7 God King. Behind him, a strange star phantom, also gray and white, slowly rose. The law domain naturally unfolded, with gray and white colors constantly changing, life and death at Lin Mo's whim. In the God King realm, it takes others hundreds of years to cross one rank. Lin Mo only took less than a day. Such opportunities are not non-existent in the great world, but they are extremely rare. To encounter one is a stroke of great luck. As he entered rank 7 God King, the power of the strange star no longer poured in. The singularity at the core dispersed, returning to the star's surface. Lin Mo was also simultaneously sent to the star's surface. In less than a day, everyone millions of kilometers away witnessed a spectacle. The cracks on the strange star completely disappeared, the gray and white areas went from being distinct to blending together, and then separated again. The two poles reversed, exchanging positions. No one could explain this situation. Suddenly, someone widened their eyes and exclaimed, "There's someone on it." Chapter 1727. Don't you feel ashamed? Lin Mo was bathed in the gray and white light, almost merging with the strange star. If you didn't look closely, you could hardly notice him. The moment they saw Lin Mo, the same thought popped into everyone's mind. Did he comprehend the mysteries of the strange star? A god Venerable whispered, "A little guy in the God King realm, looks very young, must be a genius." Another god Venerable snorted softly, "If the strange star is fine, then so be it, I'm happy for the human race to have another genius." Everyone understood the meaning of his words. Among the 10 people who came here, 8 were for the strange star's ability to heal and stabilize souls. If anyone were to do anything to the strange star, it would be taking their lives, and no one would agree. Several god venerables exchanged glances and made a decision. Before confirming that the strange star was unharmed, they would not let Lin Mo leave. Lin Mo suddenly left the strange star and flew towards the crowd. With the help of the light speed lich, Lin Mo's speed reached 150,000 kilometers per second. All the god kings present, including the small god venerables, were taken aback. Lin Mo's speed was very fast, far exceeding theirs. The god venerables also whispered, "Very fast, indeed a genius." Although speed does not fully represent strength, it can explain some things. Lin Mo possessed speed far exceeding the God King realm, which at least showed that he could advance or retreat in the God King realm. People like this basically belong to the genius category. When he was still 1,000 kilometers away, Lin Mo stopped. His gaze swept over everyone, his body intertwined with gray and white light, and a gray and white star phantom rose behind him. The law of immortality domain unfolded, instantly enveloping everyone. At the same time, Lin Mo's voice rang out, "I am here to heal you, please do not resist." Being enveloped by someone else's law domain, everyone instinctively wanted to resist. But after hearing Lin Mo's voice, they all suppressed their instincts. They all believed Lin Mo's words, because they were all from the human race, and there was also the human emperor network here, so they were not afraid of what Lin Mo would do. The law of immortality domain was gray and white, filled with the power of death and the power of life. With a thought from Lin Mo, the power of death within it quickly transformed into the power of life. The law domain was filled with vitality, making people feel very comfortable. Everyone's faces showed joy, they felt that their souls were rapidly recovering. They all took the initiative to open their soul worlds, sending the power of life in. Previously in the strange star, although the soul was also nourished by the power of life, the recovery speed was very slow. It would take at least hundreds or even thousands of years. But now, it only takes a moment. A moment is worth hundreds or thousands of years, how could they not be happy? The power of life manipulated by someone, and the power of life not manipulated by someone, are worlds apart. Just 1 hour later, everyone's soul recovered as before. Each one had an aura that soared to the sky, especially the god Venerables, whose pressure was astonishing. Someone let out a wild roar with joy, the sound waves sweeping across the starry sky. Someone roared softly, years of pain swept away at this moment. When they came back to their senses, they found that Lin Mo had already left, and they didn't even have a chance to apologize. Several god Venerables looked ashamed, their old faces flushed. Alas, I have lived for so long, and I still judge a gentleman with the heart of a villain, I am ashamed. Isn't that so? We have cultivated for so many years, reached the god Venerable, but we are not as good as a little guy. The human race has such talent, it should be the rise of our human race. I just don't know his name, I can't even thank him. Perhaps we will have the opportunity to meet again in the future. Lin Mo left silently, not to do good without leaving a name, but because he hated trouble. He knew that when these people recovered, they would definitely surround him again. Perhaps he could also get some benefits, but it was too troublesome, there was no need. He took the teleportation array outside the galaxy and returned to the Black Tortoise No. 1 Life Star System. At this moment, there was still half a month before the opening of God City. The trip to the strange star only took a few days. Lin Mo decided to go to the White Tiger star field. In the White Tiger star field, there is another strange star. To go to the White Tiger star field, you must first go to the Black Tortoise No. 3000 Life Star System. Only there is a star field level teleportation array leading to the White Tiger star field. The Black Tortoise star field is as far as 100,000 light-years away from the White Tiger star field. 100,000 light-years refers to the shortest distance between the two star fields, which is also the distance between the edges. This space of 100,000 light-years does not belong to the human race. There are no humans living in it, it is a paradise for star behemoths. The dark void of 100,000 light-years has no stars, no light, and is full of unknowns and dangers. In addition to star behemoths, there are countless mysterious worlds, and all kinds of dangers emerge one after another. Danger is often accompanied by opportunities, and some people have obtained a lot of opportunities in it. Among the best opportunities are those from ancient inheritances. Someone once obtained an ancient inheritance inside. The first thing Lin Mo thought of was Sword Orchid God Venerable's Orchid Sword, and Green Sword Taoist's Green Sword Eternal, both of which were ancient inheritances. Many of those God Kings and God Venerables who have reached the 5th level of authority will enter the dark void to take risks, hoping to obtain opportunities and soar into the sky. As soon as he arrived at the Black Tortoise No. 3000 Life Star System, he immediately felt a different atmosphere. Here is filled with powerful auras, the aura of a God King, the aura of a God Honorable, intertwined together, in astonishing numbers. Those active in the Xuanwu 3000 star system are all cultivators, with no ordinary people. Moreover, the weakest are God Kings. After all, only those who have reached level 5 permissions are qualified to come here. God Kings are everywhere, and there are also many God Honorable. There is also a powerful army of millions stationed here. Sometimes, starry sky behemoths will enter the territory of the human race, and the army will take action to suppress and kill. After leaving the teleportation array, Lin Mo Yu advanced along the road. Flying is not allowed here, and only the army can fly in the air. Even a God Honorable must abide by this rule. If you want to go to the Starfield level teleportation array, you must take a warship of the military. Starfield level teleportation arrays are not easy to refine. The number originally owned by the human race is not enough. They are strategic materials and are uniformly managed by the military. Lin Mo Yu was not in a hurry and followed the crowd. It is very lively here, and there are many people coming and going. There are a large number of stalls on both sides of the street, but there is not much shouting, keeping quiet. If there is anything, communicate directly with soul transmission. This is a simple market, selling various supplies. Many of them are obtained from the dark void, some are starry sky behemoth corpses, and some are strange things. Some of these things can be used to obtain their uses with the detection technique, but some things, even the detection technique does not know. Such things, even if they are recycled to the trading center may not want them, so they can only be sold here. The buying and selling parties need to negotiate the price themselves. The Human Emperor Network is also used here for management, no conflicts are allowed, no forced buying or selling is allowed, and once a transaction is reached, it cannot be regret. Lin Moyu felt it was very interesting. It was obviously the edge of the star field, but the power of the Human Emperor Network was not weak, even stronger than many lower star systems. Chapter 1728. Weapon Fragments of Ancient Powerhouses. Lin Moyu felt the power from the Human Emperor Network. His soul was too sensitive, he could feel what others could not. There is a reason for especially strengthening the power of the Human Emperor Network here. Using the Human Emperor Network to monitor the starry sky is more effective than some formations and magic weapons. Once a war occurs, the Human Emperor Network can conduct real-time command and dispatch, which is very useful. Zhu Qiwu once mentioned that if the power of the Human Emperor Network could completely cover the battlefield one day, then the war will become without suspense. Lin Moyu always felt that the Human Emperor Network was a very magical existence. Along the way, Lin Moyu also used the detection technique hundreds of times. He obtained a large amount of item information from it. In most cases, the detection technique can give the correct answer. Only a few times, the detection technique only gave the answer of unknown substance. These things are strange, maybe there are real treasures among them, maybe they are just ordinary garbage, nothing at all. Seeing that he was about to reach the end of the road, a huge warship appeared in his sight. This is his destination, enter the warship and go to the location of the starfield level teleportation array. Suddenly, Lin Moyu's pupils shrank. He saw a line of blood, flying into the starry sky and disappearing. The familiar blood line, exactly the same as the one seen in the Maple Leaf Secret Realm and the Strange Star. Not only the shape is the same, but even the aura is the same. Ancient Powerhouse. Lin Moyu read in his heart, he knew he would not be wrong. The aura of the ancient powerhouse is very unique, with a unique vast simplicity, which is completely different from this era. Moreover, this aura can only be felt by people like him who have other shore realm soul. Even the peak god Honorable cannot sense it. Looking in the direction where the bloodline rose, he saw a stall. 8 items were placed scattered on the stall. This bloodline came from a fist-sized piece of pitch-black iron. Lin Moyu came to the stall. The stall owner was a small god Honorable named Du Dao. He slightly raised his head and glanced at Lin Moyu. Look around, ask the price when you see something you like. Lin Moyu flicked his fingers slightly, and tamseg, probed 8 detection techniques in a row. 5 of the detection techniques returned the corresponding item information, all of which were materials in the God King realm, and the grade was not low. The other 3 did not return any results. The pitch-black iron block that exuded an ancient aura, looked about the size of a fist, was as black as ink, and was no different from an ordinary iron block. The other 2 also looked like black iron, but the shapes were slightly different. However, Lin Moyu knew that these 3 items were completely different. The other 2 should be useless garbage. This is a fragment from the weapon of an ancient powerhouse. Lin Moyu guessed in his heart and said calmly, do you want points, or exchange for goods? Du Dao also replied in a calm tone, either is fine. Lin Moyu nodded and asked, can I touch it? As you like. Lin Moyu picked up the 3 unknown items and looked at them separately. The 3 things that looked like iron blocks had different weights. The material from the ancient powerhouse was obviously heavier. Just as Lin Moyu took it, it flashed a red light, and another bloodline flew into the starry sky and disappeared. This bloodline can only be seen by the soul of the other shore realm. From the feel, there is no difference between the 3. Lin Moyu put down all 3 things, and then said, I want these 3 unknown things, you name a price. Kai Dao looked at Lin Moyu, with a look of thought flashing in his eyes. Obviously he was considering what price to ask. Lin Moyu seemed to be a novice, but he was so calm that he could not figure it out. After thinking for a moment, Du Dao said, a copy of God Honorable Realm material, or 50 million points. To be honest, the price offered by Du Dao was very reasonable. Lin Moyu did not bargain, he took out a crystal jade. The crystal jade is a material of the God Honorable Realm. Before in the Xuanwu battlefield, when he slaughtered the Golden Eagle tribe army, he seized a large amount of materials and supplies, and the crystal jade was one of them. Kai Dao recognized the crystal jade, his pupils shrank. This crystal jade is too big, I can't find it. The crystal jade taken out by Lin Moyu was about half a meter in diameter, which was far from a simple material, enough to be cut into 5 pieces. Although it is the worst God Honorable Realm material, it is still God Honorable Realm after all, its value is still very high. What Du Dao wanted was just a normal God Honorable Realm material, he never thought of wanting so much. Lin Moyu threw the crystal jade to Du Dao, while taking the 3 unknown objects in his hand. Lin Moyu said, this crystal jade is not only for exchanging these 3 unknown objects, but also wants to buy a message from you. Of course, it doesn't matter if you don't want to say it. According to the rules, at the moment Du Dao took the crystal jade, the transaction between the two had been reached. So if Lin Moyu wants to buy a message, that is another transaction. If Kai Dao is unwilling to answer, Lin Moyu cannot force it, and cannot banho, regret. In any case, Du Dao will not suffer. Du Dao was not polite at the moment and put away the crystal jade. What message do you want to buy? Where did you get these 3 unknown objects from? I want the specific location information, preferably a star chart. Du Dao thought for a moment, I can tell you the location, but I must also remind you, it's very dangerous there. Lin Moyu smiled, it's okay, just tell me. Du Dao tossed a jade token to Lin Moyu, alright. The jade token contained a star chart. The star chart itself isn't valuable, the information within it is. Lin Moyu didn't check it immediately, trusting that Du Dao wouldn't deceive him. Du Dao reminded him again, I still need to remind you, it's really dangerous there. I didn't dare to go in. These 3 unknown objects were obtained from the outside. I saw a divine Venerable Realm starry sky beast go in, and only its head escaped in the end. Lin Moyu hummed in acknowledgement, thanks for the reminder. If I go, I'll be careful. After speaking, Lin Moyu prepared to turn and leave when suddenly a voice called out. Wait, the voice was clear and melodious. Lin Moyu saw a beautiful female cultivator running towards them. In her hand, she held something resembling a mirror. The mirror shimmered with a faint light, likely a magical artifact. Lin Moyu observed the woman's appearance and noticed a resemblance to Yuzu. Not only in appearance but also in attire. A member of the Yu family. Although she concealed her information, Lin Moyu was 90% certain she was from the Yu family. The woman quickly ran to the stall. She first examined Du Dao's wares, a hint of disappointment flashing in her eyes. Then, she looked at Lin Moyu, this fellow cultivator, did you buy something just now? The woman's voice was crisp and polite. Being a lesser divine venerable, she could tell that Lin Moyu was only a divine king, so calling him, fellow cultivator, was perfectly acceptable. Lin Moyu smiled, is this what you're looking for, senior sister? Lin Moyu took out the 3 unknown objects, and the mirror in the woman's hand immediately emitted a bright light. The woman nodded, that's it. Can you sell it to me, fellow cultivator? Lin Moyu shook his head, no. The woman said anxiously, the price is negotiable, but I really need this item. Lin Moyu asked with a smile, do you know what this is? The woman shook her head, I don't know, but a senior member of my family is looking for it. Moreover, your realm isn't high enough. This thing will do you more harm than good. Lin Moyu's eyes flickered slightly, and he roughly guessed who wanted this thing. Chapter 1729. The root of the problem is always oneself. Lin Moyu looked at the woman, you're from the Yu family, right? The woman paused slightly, then put on a smile, it seems fellow cultivator is a regular at the trading center. She assumed Lin Moyu had guessed her identity through the trading center. As members of the Yu family, they shared too many similar characteristics, making it normal to guess. Lin Moyu smiled, say hello to Madame Yu for me. I have temporary use for this. If she needs it, she can find me when I return to Divine City, and I'll offer it with both hands. After speaking, Lin Moyu didn't say more and turned to leave. He still wanted to study the weapon fragments of the ancient powerhouse, so how could he hand them over? The woman froze in place, her eyes wide, unable to speak. Lin Moyu mentioned Madame Yu, who was the Yu family's ancestor, and the one who issued the order this time. Madame Yu was such a noble existence that ordinary people didn't even know of her existence. Yet Lin Moyu could casually say the 3 words, Madam Yu, clearly indicating the two knew each other. She then realized that she had completely misjudged Lin Moyu. He's not a fellow cultivator at all, but a senior hiding his aura. Perhaps he's on the same level as the ancestor. No wonder he recognized this thing. Du Dao, standing to the side, was stunned, not understanding what they were talking about. He knew nothing about Madame Yu. However, he heard Divine City and knew Lin Moyu came from Divine City. Clearly, Lin Moyu was not simple. Lin Moyu had already walked far away. The woman finally snapped out of it and turned to Du Dao, I want to buy some information from you. Name your price. Lin Moyu boarded the warship, playing with the weapon fragments he had just obtained. This seemingly black iron block would occasionally release a streak of blood, disappearing into the void. The soul eye of the other shore realm opened, observing carefully. Lines of law visibly appeared, and it could be clearly seen that when the lines of law touched it, they fractured. Normally, the lines of law would either pass through or be twisted and bent. But the occurrence of fractures was rare. Lines of law were ubiquitous, the fundamental power constituting the world, and extremely sturdy. Divine Venerables indeed had the ability to break the lines of law, possibly requiring the power of the Lost Star River. But now, a mere fragment directly crushed the lines of law. Lin Moyu carefully sensed it, his soul eye scanning again and again. There's a sense of incompatibility. It doesn't seem to be a product of the Great World. Could it be from another world? Beyond the Great World, there were other worlds, such as the Soul Spirit Realm and the Turu Realm. Their power systems were different from the Great World. Lin Moyu believed that the ancient powerhouses might not have come from the Great World. That's why their things could easily crush the Great World's lines of law. Cultivators in the Great World had grown up cultivating under the embrace of the lines of law since childhood, feeling like family with the lines of law. While the ancient powerhouses were like foreign robbers, causing great damage to everything in the Great World. That should be it. These guys are from other worlds. The ancient giants should belong to the Great World. The ancient giants used ancient runes to fight, and the core of the Great World is the Great World Rune. And I felt a familiar aura from the ancient runes, which should come from the same source as the Great World Rune. Lin Moyu cleared a line of thought, inexplicably feeling a murderous intent towards the so-called ancient powerhouses. The ancient powerhouses should perhaps be called something else, ancient invaders. At this moment, Lin Moyu suddenly realized another possibility. The appearance of the Great World Rune flashed in his memory. He had once had the honor of seeing the Great World Rune. The Great World Rune was severely damaged and in critical condition. Reasoning from this, were those ancient invaders the ones who severely damaged the Great World Rune? The possibility is very high, that should be the case. Which world is it? Could it be the world of that mysterious master? The Turu realm and the Soul Spirit realm seem to have been destroyed by them. If it's really them, then when their master revives. A chill suddenly arose in Lin Moyu's heart. Suddenly, he realized something was wrong and immediately shook his head, it's not them. That mysterious master should be the master of the mysterious manor and also the master of the ancient tomb. Whether it's the mysterious manor or the ancient tomb, the materials used are all ancient rune materials. Ancient rune materials come from the Great World, while the ancient invaders used another kind of material. The two are completely different. In that case, the mysterious master belongs to the Great World. And the one who destroyed the Turu realm was our Great World. Could it be that we are the invaders? Lin Mo was a little dizzy, and he couldn't figure it out for a while. There was too little information, and it was very confusing. Even if his reasoning ability was strong, he couldn't get the real answer for a while. This junior brother, are you all right? Lin Mo felt someone push him, and at the same time heard a loud voice. A middle-aged man with a slightly kind appearance was looking at him, with inquiry in his eyes. His name is Hong Guangliang, a cultivator of the 9th rank of the God King. But he looks old. Lin Mo showed a smile, it's okay. Hong Guangliang nodded, it's good that you're okay. I saw you nodding and shaking your head just now, and frowning from time to time. I thought you had some problems understanding the law. Lin Mo smiled, I was just thinking about some very headache-inducing problems, not understanding the law. Thank you, senior brother Hong. Hong Guangliang was relieved. He turned his head to look at the starry sky outside the battleship. Actually, there is no headache-inducing problem in this world. The real problem is not the problem itself, but ourselves. The reason why we have a headache is because we don't have the ability to solve it. Once we have enough ability, the problem is no longer a problem. Lin Mo listened to what he said, his expression naturally relaxed. Senior brother Hong is right, I can't figure out these problems, it's just that my ability is not enough, not how complicated the problem itself is. Senior brother Hong smiled even more brilliantly, I have lived for thousands of years, and I see some things more clearly than you. Did you see the army outside? The battleship has been activated and is flying towards the starfield level teleportation array. The battleship is not flying fast, and the army in the starry sky can be seen. Hong Guangliang said, most of these soldiers are god kings, and they are on guard here. Okay, most of the time, they are guarding against star behemoths from the dark void. There are as many as 1,000,000 such soldiers. If these soldiers all become divine venerables, even if there are only 10,000 divine venerables, it would be enough to guard this place. He was right, 10,000 divine venerables are definitely better than 1,000,000 god kings. But 10,000 divine venerables can't be obtained just by wanting them. Hong Guangliang said, this is the problem itself, there are not enough divine venerables, so we can only use god kings to make up for it. If one day 1,000,000 god kings become 1,000,000 divine venerables, let alone guarding this place, even pacifying the dark void would not be a problem. Lin Mo smiled and nodded. Hong Guangliang's words made sense to a certain extent. With his knowledge, it was indeed right to say this. However, he obviously didn't know that above the divine venerable there was the other shore, and within the other shore there was the holy venerable. Lin Mo looked at the army lined up in a square formation and talked, what exactly is the dark void like? Hong Guangliang whispered, a very dangerous place, with power from the darkness. Chapter 1730. Black Tide Surges, Dark Void. Hong Guangliang's cultivation was not high, only the 9th rank of the God King, and he was the kind of God King who accumulated it over time. Unlike many high-spirited young talents, one could feel a sense of experience from Hong Guangliang. His words often carried his own feelings about life. In Lin Mo's view, many words were already full of twilight. He obviously no longer hoped to break through the Divine Venerable, but he hoped that he could break through the Divine Venerable. This was a very contradictory psychology, just like he said himself, the problem itself was himself. So he came to the dark void, looking for the last chance. The chance was very slim, he had been to the dark void many times, lasting for thousands of years, and went to many places. Lin Mo could feel that he really wanted to explain what the dark void was like. But due to his knowledge and cultivation, he didn't dare to enter many places himself, and heard a lot of hearsay. Some things even seemed contradictory when said, just like his heart. There were indeed many mysterious places in the dark void, and it was also the habitat of star behemoths. Some of the star behemoths inside were extremely powerful and would use a special power, called the power of darkness. The power of darkness was different from the laws of cultivators, it was extremely special and extremely powerful. Summarizing Hong Guangliang's description, Lin Mo roughly summarized a few points. The danger of the dark void comes from 3 aspects. First, various mysterious places 070, these places are ever-changing, and sometimes appear suddenly, not fixed, and difficult to defend against. Second, star behemoths, there are a large number of star behemoths in the dark void, and some star behemoths have special powers and powerful combat power. Third, alien races, the dark void is not a human territory. In addition to human cultivators, there are also alien races. For others, there is a 4th danger in the dark void, which is sight. In the dark void, darkness covers the starry sky, and all external light gradually disappears. The line of sight inside is extremely poor, and even soul perception will be weakened, and it will also affect the perception and judgment of danger by cultivators. But for Lin Mo, this was not a problem, whether it was the undead vision or the soul eye of the other shore realm, both could solve this problem. Putting away the fragment containing ancient power, the battleship also arrived at its destination at this moment. 2 huge beacons appeared outside the battleship, one leading to the Starfield teleportation array, and the other leading to the dark void. Junior brother Lin, I'll take a step first, and I'll see you again in the future. Hong Guangliang said goodbye to Lin Mo with a smile. Lin Mo also showed a smile. May senior brother Hong get what he wants and break through the Divine Venerable. Hong Guangliang laughed, thank you for your kind words. He stepped onto the beacon leading to the dark void and disappeared from sight. Lin Mo knew that this farewell might be a farewell forever. Unless Hong Guangliang had some heaven-defying opportunity, it would be difficult for him to break through the Divine Venerable. And most likely, he would die in the dark void. Just like he said, if he doesn't succeed this time, he will become benevolent, he has no way out. After wasting thousands of years, one day he will have to fight for his life. Lin Mo stepped onto the beacon leading to the Starfield teleportation array, and went all the way forward along the beacon, and soon saw the teleportation array. The Starfield level teleportation array is extremely huge, with a diameter of more than 10,000 kilometers, like a planet standing in the starry sky. In terms of scale, the Starfield level teleportation array far exceeds the teleportation array in the human race tower. But in Lin Mo's view, the teleportation array in the human race tower is more powerful than the Starfield teleportation array in front of him. The teleportation array in the human race tower is based on ancient runes and contains ancient power. The Starfield teleportation array is purely big. Under the premise of realizing the same function, the smaller the teleportation array is made, the more difficult it will naturally be. However, the Starfield teleportation array has another unique function, because it is large enough, it can directly teleport battleships, and more than one. It can simultaneously perform cross-Starfield level teleportation on hundreds of battleships. Once a war occurs, it can play the role of rapidly increasing troops and support. The Starfield teleportation array was very lively, with thousands of people standing there. The noisy discussions came, and Lin Mo frowned slightly when he heard it. The teleportation array is actually closed. Lin Mo leaned over, and when he was still 10,000 meters away from the teleportation array, he received a message from the Human Emperor BDAG network. Due to the recent black tide in the dark void, the Starfield teleportation array is temporarily closed, and the reopening time will be notified separately. Lin Mo looked at the message and muttered to himself, "It's really unlucky, there is actually a black tide." The black tide is a unique phenomenon in the dark void. The special energy in the dark void, the power of darkness, sometimes gathers together and surges like a tide, which is called the black tide. The black tide does not affect cultivators. According to the information mastered by the human race, the black tide is just a natural phenomenon in the dark void. However, once the black tide appears, it will distort the space, affect the use of the teleportation array, and also affect various teleportation magic weapons. The black tide does not appear frequently, often appearing once every 10 years, and each time it lasts for about 3 months to half a year. The black tide appeared 3 days ago. If Lin Mo Yu still wants to go to the White Tiger Star region, he can either wait here for the black tide to recede, or traverse the dark void himself, flying across the long distance of 100,000 light years. Indeed, some have done this. Divine sovereigns, with the help of flying-type magical treasures at the Divine Sovereign realm, are capable of crossing the 100,000 light-year distance. Lin Mo Yu is also capable of this. He can use a Golden Eagle Clan Divine Sovereign as a mount. With the Golden Eagle Clan Divine Sovereign's spatial leap ability, it would take about 30 years to cross the dark void and reach the White Tiger Star region. Lin Mo Yu pondered for a moment, then turned and left. He returned along the marker, then stepped onto another marker, and at the same time, took out the star chart he had obtained from Dudao. Since he couldn't go to the White Tiger Star region, he would first go to the dark void to take a look. Of course, he wasn't planning to cross the dark void. Lin Mo Yu wouldn't do something so strenuous and unrewarding. He wanted to see the place where Dudao had obtained the fragment of the ancient weapon. Since the weapon fragment of the ancient invaders appeared there, there might be something unusual. The star chart showed that the place wasn't too far away. It was about 10 light years from the edge of the dark void, belonging to a very outer area. At Lin Mo Yu's speed, it would only take a little over a day to arrive. Reaching the end of the marker, all that could be seen was darkness, without a trace of light. Once the light of external stars entered it, it would instantly disappear. The feeling was like a black hole that devoured everything. Lin Mo Yu waved out a ball of white light, the white light containing boundless life force, and flew into it. As soon as the bright, star-like white light entered the dark void, its light quickly disappeared. As if this world disliked light, embracing only darkness. Lin Mo Yu could sense that his life force still existed, but its light was completely suppressed. What a peculiar place. Lin Mo Yu transformed into a stream of light and flew into the dark void. Chapter 1731. A Divine Sovereign Realm Warship that was crashed. The boundless darkness enveloped him, and sight lost its function at this moment. Compared to a fog where one couldn't see their own fingers, the dark void seemed even more terrifying. The power belonging to darkness surged from all directions. Lin Moyu felt that his soul seemed to be slightly affected, and his perception weakened by about 10%. Even a soul at the other shore realm would be affected, one can imagine that others would only be more greatly affected. Here, human cultivators use various magical treasures to be vigilant, explore, and check the surrounding situation. But the range of exploration is extremely limited. When first entering the dark void, Lin Moyu could still sense a trace of the human sovereign network's power, but after flying out 1,000,000 kilometers, the human sovereign network's power completely disappeared. Once the human sovereign network's power disappears, it indicates a complete departure from the human territory. Here, one cannot get rescue. If there is danger, one must rely on oneself. The eye of the soul opened, and the scene before him immediately changed. Streaks of various colored law lines intertwined and converged here, and the dark void was no longer dark. The law lines glow, but ordinary people cannot see them. With the faint light of the law lines, Lin Moyu could vaguely see this peculiar world. Black energy, like mist, constantly surged in this starry sky. Like the waves in the sea, one wave after another. Along with the surge of black energy, the space also fluctuated slightly. The surface space was relatively stable, the deeper the space, the greater the impact. This is the black tide that can affect teleportation. In this state, unless one controls the law of space, one cannot teleport here. The skeleton hell emerged, and a Golden Eagle Clan Divine Sovereign slave appeared under Lin Moyu's feet. The Golden Eagle Clan Divine Sovereign instantly accelerated and activated Space Leap. Space Leap is not the law of space. The space it touches is only the surface space, and the impact is not significant. While advancing rapidly, Lin Moyu was also comprehending the black energy. It is this peculiar energy, known as the power of darkness, that constitutes the peculiar dark void. After careful sensing, Lin Moyu judged that they do not belong to the great world. Like the ancient invaders, this is a foreign power. And it should be related to the ancient invaders. From the power of darkness, he felt a power similar to the ancient invaders. In the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu had flown out hundreds of billions of kilometers. With the faint light brought by the law lines, Lin Moyu saw a vortex in the distance. The vortex bloomed with faint light, bringing a faint light to the dark void. But this light can only radiate within 100 meters, and then disappear, and be swallowed by the darkness again. If Lin Moyu hadn't relied on the eye of the soul of the other shore realm, it would have been difficult to discover without getting close. Lin Moyu stopped and watched from a distance. Switching to the undead vision, the dark void became a gray world. The law lines disappeared in the undead vision, everything turned gray, and clusters of soul flames appeared in his sight. Near the vortex, there were several people surrounding it. This is the mysterious place. The entrance of the vortex is extremely similar to the entrance of a dungeon or secret realm, but also different. The aura revealed inside is somewhat different from the great world. He switched back to the eye of the soul, and could see law lines flowing into the vortex, passing through it. From this, it can be judged that the world in the vortex is also filled with the power belonging to the great world. Lin Moyu had some understanding in his heart. The power of the dark void and the great world belong to two sources, intertwined with each other here, forming a peculiar pattern of you and me and me and you. After watching for a moment, Lin Moyu set sail again. He passed by only 1,000 kilometers away from the vortex, and no one discovered him. Here, the cultivators' senses are suppressed a lot, and the perception of danger is greatly weakened. The Golden Eagle Clan Divine Sovereign advanced at a speed of hundreds of millions of kilometers per second, the surface space constantly rolling like waves, resonating with the space waves brought by the black tide. Whoosh! Lin Moyu's heart tightened, the skeleton hell shrouded on his body suddenly twisted, and a huge force acted on him. The Golden Eagle Clan Divine Sovereign was knocked away, along with Lin Moyu. The flying speed was too fast. This collision made Lin Moyu very uncomfortable. A large number of wounds appeared on the Golden Eagle Clan Divine Sovereign, and many bones were broken, looking very miserable. Fortunately, he is no longer a living thing. The power of the skeleton hell constantly poured out, repairing his injuries. Lin Moyu used the faint light of the law lines to see what had knocked him away. It was a warship, a damaged warship. The warship was not large, only about 100 meters in length, belonging to a small warship. But its level was not low, it was a Divine Sovereign Realm warship. Slightly inferior to the warships used by Zhu Qiwu and Zhu Tian, but at least it was a middle-grade Divine Sovereign Realm warship. Such warships are generally only controlled by a few high-level divine sovereigns. But now, it was damaged, and drifting aimlessly in the dark void. As for its owner, the result was self-evident. With a thought, skeleton divine generals appeared one by one. A touch of light suddenly appeared in the dark void. The skeleton god generals, glowing pure white, surrounded the warship, allowing Lin Moyu to see its entirety. After inspecting it, Lin Moyu confirmed that the warship was completely destroyed. The warship's bow was utterly deformed, with a third of it caved in, collapsing into a twisted shape. It was rammed. To smash a god Venerable realm warship like this, how tough must that thing be? Lin Moyu found the warship's entrance, which had also been completely blasted open. Judging by the way the entrance was destroyed, someone must have rushed out from inside. It seems the warship collided with something during its voyage, and then the god Venerable inside rushed out. But now the god Venerable is missing, leaving the warship to drift here, likely in dire straits. A god Venerable realm warship is constructed entirely from god Venerable realm materials. Its value is much higher than ordinary god Venerable realm magical treasures. Even damaged, its value is still incomparable to ordinary magical treasures. If its owner was alright, they would surely come to retrieve it. Lin Moyu entered the warship, and the internal damage was even worse than the external. All the decorations and arrangements were scattered. The warship's internal structure had also been destroyed. With the god Venerable realm materials it was built from shattered and cracked. The force of the impact had directly transmitted into the warship's interior, causing immense damage. This powerful force made Lin Moyu slightly alarmed. Earlier, when the warship collided with him, the Golden Eagle clan's god Venerable had his bones broken on the spot, showing just how tough the warship was. Yet, this tough warship was still smashed to pieces by an even more powerful object. Finally, Lin Moyu found the warship's core. The core had turned into fragments, and the formation that maintained it had also collapsed. It seemed like no traces were left. Lin Moyu was slightly disappointed. If the core was still intact, he could have checked what happened. The warship's core had a recording function. He continued searching inside the warship to see if he could find anything else. Chapter 1732. A stick in a mysterious space. The 1,000-meter warship had many rooms. Most of the rooms were empty, with only a few showing signs of habitation. From these signs, Lin Moyu discovered that the warship had been drifting in the dark void for at least several thousand years. Ordinary items in the rooms were old and worn, with only a few still intact. Some rooms still had the aura of a god Venerable, indicating that the warship owner's friends had once resided there. Finally, he found the warship owner's room and learned the warship owner's identity. 9 Emperor God Venerable. It's him. He had seen this name before. Lin Moyu searched his memory for information about the 9 Emperor God Venerable. Like himself, he came from a small world, once a prince in the small world, ranking 9th among his siblings. Later, he stepped into the great world from the small world, overcoming obstacles and shining brightly along the way. In his era, he was very dazzling. His name was on the 4-star region competition, and also on the 377 Secret Realm strategy team. He cultivated all the way to high-level God Venerable, and then suddenly disappeared. No one would have thought that he would end up in the dark void. The 9 Emperor God Venerable disappeared 2,600 years ago. Did he die, or is he trapped somewhere? Someone like him shouldn't die so easily. Lin Moyu pondered in his heart, when suddenly his peripheral vision caught sight of a jade tablet in the corner of the room. The jade tablet was ink-colored, somewhat similar to the color of the warship, making it easy to miss if not carefully observed. He reached out and drew the jade tablet over, and with a thought, he read the information. A dignified voice emanated from the jade tablet. My name is 9 Emperor. Since stepping into high-level God Venerable, I have gradually felt that my cultivation is not up to par. The other shore realm is far away, and I have searched everywhere for opportunities. I met the heavenly calculation God Venerable and discussed the Tao for 100 years. The heavenly calculation God Venerable did not hesitate to expend his lifespan to calculate for me. My path is not cut off, the road ahead lies in the dark void. Today, I step into the dark void and encounter strange beasts. I will fight them. The Jade Tablet's record ended here, basically explaining why the 9 Emperor God Venerable came to this place. He came to seek a path, to find the road to the other shore realm. For a high-level God Venerable, knowing that the other shore realm exists but seeing it become an unattainable dream. Lin Moyu could completely understand this feeling. Which of these figures would be willing to be ordinary? They would inevitably continue to climb. Having learned that there was a path forward in the dark void, how could he not come? However, now the warship is destroyed, and his life and death are unknown. Lin Moyu sighed, the path of cultivation is fraught with dangers. Once a step is taken, life and death are unpredictable. Leaving the warship, he waved his hand and collected it. The warship was completely damaged, and the core was broken, equivalent to an unowned object. Collecting it might give him a chance to repair it. Compared to the Golden Eagle clan's god Venerable mount under his feet, a mid-stage god Venerable warship was much more useful. Stepping onto the road ahead again, Lin Moyu became even more cautious. In the dark void, danger was everywhere. The 3 dangers he had summarized were far from enough. Fortunately, he encountered no more accidents this time, and after a day, he successfully arrived at his destination. This place was far from the human territory, and no reinforcements could arrive no matter what happened. Lin Moyu searched in the darkness but did not find the entrance marked on the star map. When Dudao discovered this entrance, it was 10 years ago. The entrances to the dark void move, but in 10 years, they wouldn't move too far. Let's look for it. With a thought, Lin Moyu summoned over 10,000 skeleton god generals, flying in all directions. Half a day later, Lin Moyu suddenly lost contact with a skeleton god general. Found it. With a thought, he immediately flew over. With the skeleton god general's location, Lin Moyu had locked onto the exact position. Soon, a huge vortex appeared in his sight. Seeing the vortex, Lin Moyu's gaze slightly condensed. Within the vortex, there were blood-colored threads flying. These blood-colored threads were the power of the ancient invaders. He took out the weapon fragment, and after waiting for a few minutes, a blood-colored thread flew out of the fragment, entered the vortex, and merged with the blood-colored threads in the vortex. Is this summoning, or is it looking for a way back? Inside the vortex, there should be more fragments, or complete weapons. Many high-level magical treasures have the ability to self-repair. As long as the damage isn't too severe, it can be repaired on its own. The weapons of the ancient invaders are naturally very powerful, so it's not surprising that they have the ability to self-repair. As for the ancient invaders, Lin Mo doesn't believe they exist. According to Dudao, a starry sky behemoth in the God Emperor realm broke in at the time, and only its head escaped. There should be danger inside, but it's not absolute danger. How powerful were the ancient invaders? If a God Emperor realm expert encountered them, there would be no chance of escape. At this moment, the skeleton god general, who had just lost contact, suddenly regained contact. Lin Mo instinctively communicated with the skeleton god general, directly activating the undead vision. In the gray world, Lin Mo saw a thick gray shadow falling from above, like a stick. Boom! The skeleton god general didn't have time to dodge and died on the spot. The next second, the skeleton god general resurrected in place, and Lin Mo activated the undead vision again. This time he saw clearly that it was indeed a stick that was already broken and tattered. The stick should have been black, but in the undead vision, it was just a darker shade of gray. The stick fell again, killing the skeleton god general for the second time. After the second resurrection, Lin Mo didn't look at the stick again. Instead, he used the undead vision to check the surrounding environment. At the same time, he had an idea, and a large number of skeleton god generals rushed into the vortex. The environment inside the vortex was somewhat barren, like a plain. There seemed to be mountains in the distance, vaguely visible, but not very clear. The undead vision has limitations, but Lin Mo didn't see any souls, which reassured him a lot. No souls meant no living beings. No living beings meant that his guess was correct, at least there were no living ancient invaders. That would greatly improve safety. After several attacks, Lin Mo felt that the stick's attack power should be between the 6th and 7th level of the God Emperor realm. There was danger, but it wasn't high. After a while, a large number of skeleton god generals entered the mysterious space on the other side of the vortex. Under Lin Mo's command, they quickly dispersed and flew in all directions. At the same time, Lin Mo continuously activated the undead vision to check the movements inside. The stick, which was about to break, continued to hunt down the skeleton god generals. Each attack could kill several skeleton god generals. But as the skeleton god generals became more scattered, its efficiency also dropped sharply. It tirelessly hunted down the skeleton god generals, flying farther and farther away. so that the skeleton god generals who entered later became very safe. Throughout the entire process, there was only this one stick, and no second one appeared. Only then did Lin Mo feel relieved and formally stepped into the vortex. His whole body rotated and flew in the vortex. After 2 minutes, Lin Mo officially stepped into the mysterious space. The Eye of Soul opened, and he saw the ubiquitous lines of law, as well as the blood-colored lines intertwined with the lines of law. The power of the great world and the power of another world were intertwined here, inseparable from each other. Lin Mo didn't stop and quickly flew in the opposite direction. Chapter 1733. Carrying the coffin into battle, shattering Star Supreme. By having the skeleton god general attract the stick, he could carefully explore this space. But plans never keep up with changes. Just as Lin Mo had just set off, the Eye of Soul suddenly saw a large number of red lines gathering in the sky above his head. Lin Mo was shocked and had an ominous premonition. He immediately flew into the distance, and the red lines above his head moved with him, never leaving him. The sky was torn open, and a blood-red vortex appeared. The stick, which was already far away, suddenly disappeared, and the next second it appeared in the red vortex. The stick smashed down on Lin Mo's head, as if it wanted to smash Lin Mo into meat paste. What must be faced, will always be faced. Lin Mo wasn't flustered. Such a change was within his expectations. With a tap of his finger, the undying flames burned fiercely, and the Skeleton King appeared beside him. Before the stick could fall, the Skeleton King had already swung his huge bone sword and smashed it onto the stick from below. With a bang, the Skeleton King retreated. The huge force on the stick caused the Skeleton King to retreat uncontrollably. Simply comparing strength, the Skeleton King was inferior to the stick. But the stick was also smashed back into the sky by this sword. After flying out tens of thousands of meters, it fell again, its target still Lin Mo. At this time, the Skeleton King also charged back. The bone sword collided with the stick again, and the Skeleton King was knocked away for the second time. Lin Mo took out 14 black stones and threw them directly at the skeleton god generals beside him. The stones constructed from ancient runes were absolutely incredibly hard. God emperors simply couldn't cause damage to them, and neither could this stick now. This stick had been severely damaged and was about to break, so the power it could exert was extremely limited. The skeleton god general wielded the stones and took the lead in meeting the stick, smashing it down again and again, never giving the stick a chance to fall. The ancient rune stones were indeed hard enough, and there was no damage to them when they hit the stick. On the contrary, the cracks on the stick were gradually expanding. The stick was like a stubborn child, ignoring the skeleton god general, its target was fixed on Lin Mo. The Skeleton King rushed back again, he stretched out his huge palm, and 2 white bone fingers pinched the stick. The stick struggled constantly, but it couldn't break free from the Skeleton King's control in a short time. The skeleton god generals smashed even more frantically, banging non-stop. Each second could smash hundreds or thousands of times. Finally, after smashing tens of thousands of times, the stick, which was already on the verge of shattering, collapsed with a bang. Lin Mo faintly heard a wail. The blood-colored vortex in the air disappeared, and the stick was completely gone. Looking at the completely shattered stick, Lin Mo collected the fragments one by one. He didn't bother to study it. This thing was not something he could understand now. It was the right choice to hand it over to those beyond realm big shots to worry about when he got back. Without the threat, he could finally explore this space boldly. 100,000 skeleton god generals were reporting back on the various situations in the space. Lin Mo found that as the stick was smashed, the blood-colored lines in the space were gradually dissipating. The lines of law of the great world were becoming more and more powerful and began to occupy this mysterious space. Because of Lin Mo's actions, the power of the 2 worlds, after countless years of entanglement, finally decided the winner. Finally, Lin Mo also saw something different. There were mountains in this space, and they were mountain ranges. In the center of the mountain range, there was a high mountain. The high mountain stood out from the crowd, several times higher than other mountains. Its height was at least over 100,000 meters. Although such high mountains were everywhere in the great world. But here, it was a different existence. Its top was very sharp, like a blade. On the tip of the blade, there was a huge coffin, and on top of the coffin, a person was sitting cross-legged. Through the eye of the undead, Lin Mo knew that the other party was already dead. The soul dissipated, leaving only the corpse. The corpse exuded a sense of vastness, containing traces of ancient years. This was a powerful figure from ancient times. The height of his realm was already difficult to estimate. From ancient times until now, after who knows how many years, the corpse remained intact, even with a sense of lifelikeness. Lin Mo looked at it from afar, a pensive look in his eyes. Definitely not the other shore realm, a corpse from the other shore realm couldn't be preserved for so long. Why did he die here, instead of in a coffin? The undead vision couldn't penetrate the coffin, unable to see the situation inside. Lin Mo reactivated the Eye of the Soul, and his whole body trembled violently. Under the Eye of the Soul, he saw ancient runes. On this already deceased ancient powerhouse, ancient runes still existed. However, these ancient runes were already broken and no longer complete. It seemed that with his death, the ancient runes also lost their vitality. But with the ancient runes, it could be explained that he was a person from the great world. There were also ancient runes on the coffin, indicating that the coffin was also a product of the great world. At the same time, Lin Mo saw that his body was connected to the coffin by ancient runes. He's not going in, but suppressing the coffin. What's in the coffin? Lin Mo cautiously approached, when suddenly, an ancient rune on the forehead of the ancient powerhouse abruptly lit up. Lin Mo was suddenly shocked, wanting to retreat, but found himself unable to move. This ancient rune seemed to have sealed the space. The ancient rune rose, projecting a cyan light, and an old man in cyan robes emerged from the light. The old man's appearance was 80 or 90% similar to that of the human race, almost considered to be the human race. The human race from ancient times. So, the human race existed in ancient times. Lin Mo thought of another name for the human race, the Starry Sky Divine Human Race, one of the 4 source races. At this moment, he had a deeper understanding of the concept of the source race. The source race, perhaps referring to the races that existed since ancient times. Their history was long and their origins were long. The old man in cyan robes in the light quietly looked at Lin Mo, without saying a word. The old man's appearance was slightly illusory, but Lin Mo could feel his gaze, without malice, but rather a feeling of examining a junior. Lin Mo said loudly, "Human race, Lin Mo, greets senior." The old man's gaze became even gentler, and then he reached out and gently tapped. A ray of light shot out, entering Lin Mo's brow. The soul world was immediately shrouded in cyan light, and then Lin Mo heard a majestic voice. "My name is Suisheng, Star Shatterer, ranked as supreme. The Black Blood Great World invaded, and the slave worlds betrayed, this world fought a bloody battle. The yin and yang within the world came out together, although the enemy was strong, we fought to the death without retreating. This old man was ordered by the Realm Master to fight with a coffin, guarding one side to the death. If we lose, everything will be over. If we win, please bury this old man in the coffin." The voice was filled with desolation and determination. Fighting with a coffin, placing oneself in a dead end with no chance of survival. The voice contained all kinds of emotions, but there was no retreat. This battle was only about life and death, the loser died, and the winner might not survive. Suisheng, Star Shatterer, Supreme completed his mission, he guarded this side. Even after death, he didn't bury himself. Sitting in his coffin, he continued to guard. In the entire war, the great world won and did not perish. Lin Mo was infected by the emotions of Suisheng, Star Shatterer, Supreme, his heart filled with respect. This was a senior of the human race, without them, where would he be? Lin Mo's soul stood up and saluted, "Please open the coffin, senior." Boom! In the roar, the coffin that had been closed for who knows how many years suddenly opened, and a cyan light rushed out of the coffin. Lin Mo found that he could move, and immediately helped Suisheng, Star Shatterer, Supreme into the coffin. Chapter 1734, Inheritance from an Ancient Supreme. Suisheng, Star Shatterer, Supreme slept into the coffin, and Lin Mo saluted again, "The human race is safe, farewell senior." After saying that, Lin Mo closed the coffin. At the moment when the coffin closed, the cyan light in the soul suddenly changed, condensing into a cyan ancient rune. The ancient rune was extremely complex, and Lin Mo couldn't look directly at it. Just a glance almost exhausted his soul. This ancient rune was even more powerful than the ancient rune of the ancient giant in the Divine City star field. The cyan ancient rune continued to change, and finally turned into a cyan jade pendant. The soul waved its hand, and the cyan jade pendant came into the soul's hand, and at the same time, a piece of information flowed into the soul. Lin Mo suddenly shook, and couldn't help but read, "Shattering Star Rules." This cyan jade pendant recorded a method for cultivating a rule. The predecessor of the Shattering Star rules was the Shattering Star Law, and only those who cultivated the Shattering Star Law and reached the other shore realm could cultivate it. This jade pendant was useless to Lin Mo, but it was a supreme treasure to another person. Among all the people he knew, only Zhu Qiwu cultivated the Shattering Star Law. There were originally few people who cultivated the Shattering Star Law, and even fewer who could reach the other shore realm. It was estimated that in the entire human race, hundreds of millions of people, there was only Zhu Qiwu. After Zhu Qiwu entered the other shore realm, the Shattering Star Law would become the Shattering Star Rules. However, rules were difficult to cultivate, and most of them had to be comprehended on their own. In fact, the vast majority of other shore realm powerhouses comprehended it on their own. From ancient times to now, the inheritance had been interrupted, and many inheritances were gone. Lin Mo had discussed cultivation with Hao Shungjun, Sacred Lord Hao, and obtained a lot of information from Hao Shungjun, Sacred Lord Hao. Lin Mo felt that Zhu Qiwu was lucky, and the jade pendant of the Shattering Star Rules happened to fall into his hands. Senior Zhu, what are you going to exchange for it? A sly smile appeared on his face. The thing would naturally be given to Zhu Qiwu, but it couldn't be given casually. He would have to ask for some benefits, and even if he couldn't get any benefits, he would at least have to get Zhu Qiwu to say a few nice words. Lin Mo wanted to take the coffin away, but found that he couldn't move it at all. He knew that this was the will of Suisheng, Star Shatterer Supreme. Even after death, he still had to guard here, not leaving half a step. Lin Mo knew that he couldn't force it, and saluted the coffin again. Suddenly, a cyan light rushed out of the coffin. The dazzling cyan light cut through the sky, tearing the space. This space collapsed, and the coffin of Suisheng, Star Shatterer Supreme broke through the space and flew to an unknown place, disappearing in an instant. Darkness swept in from all directions, reoccupying the vision, and Lin Mo had returned to the dark void. The vortex was gone, and this mysterious space disappeared. As the coffin shattered the space, he caught a fleeting glimpse, seemingly seeing the runes of the Great World. Having been fortunate enough to witness the space where the Great World runes resided several times, Lin Mo Yu was no stranger to that world. This time, he felt he wouldn't be mistaken. Supreme Shattered Star's coffin had gone to the place where the Great World runes were. Could it be that this is the true destination of the strong? Quote. Lin Mo Yu shook his head slightly, unable to comprehend it with his current realm. At this moment, he turned his head to look into the distance, seeing a warship flying towards this place. The warship was very fast, constantly flickering and jumping through space. Only godly Venerate warships could achieve this kind of flight. But compared to godly Venerate warships, this warship seemed to be much slower. Especially with each jump and flicker, there was a short pause. There was only one explanation for this situation, and that was that the person controlling the warship was not a godly Venerate. The warship seemed to be fleeing in panic, constantly changing direction. Borrowing the faint light of the law lines, Lin Mo Yu saw a starry sky behemoth chasing closely behind the warship. If the warship hadn't been constantly changing direction, it would have been caught long ago. The warship was a human warship, and Lin Mo Yu naturally wouldn't stand by and watch it die. 10 skeleton god generals emerged in response, quickly traversing hundreds of thousands of kilometers, and swung their long swords at the starry sky behemoth. The pure white, majestic sword energy briefly dispelled the darkness, bringing a moment of light. The sword energy landed on the starry sky behemoth, instantly tearing out several huge wounds. Fresh blood flew out from the wounds, and the smell of blood permeated the air. The starry sky behemoth let out an angry roar, immediately abandoning the warship and pouncing towards the skeleton god generals. The starry sky behemoth was only at the second stage of the godly Venerate realm, not very strong. After Lin Mo Yu advanced to the 7th stage of the godly king realm, the skeleton god generals had also touched the threshold of the 2nd stage of the godly Venerate realm. 1-on-1 might not be a match for the starry sky behemoth, but 10-on-1 was a different story. The skeleton god generals wielded their bone swords, battling the starry sky behemoth. Sword energy flashed, constantly illuminating the darkness. The starry sky behemoth's blood splattered across the sky, wailing incessantly. Faced with 10 times its own number of enemies, the starry sky behemoth had no power to resist. In the blink of an eye, its body was covered in wounds. If it weren't for its enormous size and amazing vitality, it would have been killed long ago. Sensing the approach of death, it let out a sharp cry and turned to flee. The skeleton god generals wanted to chase, but discovered that the starry sky behemoth had merged with the darkness and suddenly disappeared. It actually escaped. Quote, Lin Moyu was very surprised. This guy's attack was average, his defense was average, but his escape skills were top-notch. What a pity, otherwise the materials from a godly venerate starry sky behemoth wouldn't be of low value. Quote, Shouqi ku lu xian zhang, Lin Moyu chao jie qian fang kan ku. The warship that had been fleeing earlier had now stopped and was flying towards him. The warship stopped, and a person flew out from inside. So it's her, what a coincidence. Quote, the one controlling the warship was none other than the Yu family member he had met at the market before. The woman didn't seem surprised at all by Lin Moyu's strength, and bowed gracefully towards Lin Moyu. Thank you, Mr. Lin, for your help. Quote, Lin Moyu said calmly, you recognize me? Quote, the woman nodded, the old ancestor told me. Quote, oh, by the way, my name is Yu Liner, Mr. Lin can just call me Liner. Quote, Yu Liner kept her posture very low, and was deliberately trying to be friendly, obviously under the instructions of Madame Yu. Lin Moyu looked at Yu Liner with a smile that wasn't quite a smile. Miss Liner, are you here to find that fragment this time as well? Quote, Yu Liner shook her head. Liner is here under the old ancestor's orders, specifically to find you, sir. Quote, Lin Moyu smiled noncommittally. Are you so Zhao Qian's sure that I'm here? Quote, Yu Liner giggled. I guessed that you should be here, sir. Quote, as members of the Yu family, Yu Liner's appearance was 60% similar to Yu Ju's. Especially when she smiled, the similarity was even higher. Lin Moyu couldn't help but ask, do all of you Yu family members look similar? Quote, Yu Liner smiled even more happily. Are you talking about me and little sister Yu Zhu? My father and Yu Ju's father are biological brothers, so we look somewhat alike. Quote, Lin Moyu nodded. Speak, what does Madame Yu want from me? Quote, Yu Liner pointed to the warship. Why don't we talk on the warship, it's quite dangerous here. Quote, the warship was very bright, and the light shone on Yu Liner's face, making her small face seem a little pale. Once the warship's door closed, Yu Liner breathed a sigh of relief, and her complexion gradually improved. Don't blame me, sir, I'm naturally a little afraid of the dark. Quote, Yu Liner said, taking out a jade tablet and activating it. A star map appeared, along with a projection of Madame Yu. Chapter 1735. Water of myriad colors, ancestor of myriad waters. Elegant, dignified, and noble. All kinds of praise were not excessive when used on Madame Yu. Yu Liner knelt respectfully to the side, her eyes filled with admiration, as well as a hint of fear. Madame Yu was the old ancestor of the Yu family, the supreme existence in the hearts of the Yu family. Normally, Yu Liner wouldn't even have the qualifications to see Madame Yu. Madame Yu looked at Lin Moyu. Little friend Lin, long time no see. Quote, Lin Moyu also performed a junior's greeting towards Madame Yu. Greetings, Madame Yu. Quote, although he also showed respect in his words, it was basically clear that the two were interacting as equals. There was no human emperor network here, and Lin Moyu didn't know what means Madame Yu used to communicate with him. Madame Yu's voice was gentle, and she went straight to the point. There is a dark tide appearing in the dark void of the Xuanwu starfield, and since little friend Lin is here, I have a favor to ask of you. Quote, Lin Moyu nodded slightly. Please speak, Madame Yu. Quote, his relationship with Madame Yu was good, and the same was true for the girl Yu Zhu, so as long as it wasn't too dangerous, he could agree. Madame Yu narrowed her eyes slightly, as if recalling something, and her voice became even more distant. Little friend Lin should know that we have been searching for certain things. Quote, beneath the dark tide, some things hidden in the depths will emerge. Quote, 573 inches we need these things. Quote, Lin Moyu was so intelligent that he immediately grasped the key point of the matter. The dark tide was a concentrated outbreak of dark power that could affect space. But this power was mainly concentrated in the deep layers of space, so it could affect teleportation arrays, but had little impact on surface space fluctuations. It looked like a deep-sea undercurrent, seemingly calm on the surface, but extremely dangerous inside. Similarly, when the dark tide erupted, it would also bring out some things from the deep space. As for what those things were, they were mostly related to ancient times. That was what the Beyond Realm big shots were pursuing. Lin Moyu now knew that Beyond Realm experts could not easily take action. Besides the human race's Beyond Realm experts, there were also a large number of Beyond Realm experts from various races watching. The races guarded against each other, seemingly all having concerns, and over time, a certain unspoken rule had formed. At this moment, Madame Yu raised her hand, and a ball of water shimmering with beautiful colors appeared on her palm. The water ball was dreamlike and illusory, exuding an unusual attraction. Yu Liner's eyes suddenly became dull, unable to break free from the water sphere. Lin Mo looked at the water sphere. In his vision, the water sphere was not static, but constantly changing shape, while also transforming into countless colors. It was impossible to say what color the water actually was, very hazy, very dreamlike, with an amazing attraction. Its attraction was enough to grab the soul, making people unable to extricate themselves. Madame Yu looked at the water sphere in her hand. This is what we are looking for. It is called Myriad Colors Water, and in ancient times, it was also called the ancestor of all waters. Normally it is invisible, only when the black tide appears, will it be sprayed out from the deep space under the drive of the black tide. Lin Mo asked with some curiosity, with the power of the Saint Venerable, one should be able to directly enter the deep space to obtain the Myriad Colors Water. Madame Yu shook her head. The deep space is not so easy to enter. Only Saint Venerables who control the power of the laws of space can possibly enter. You also know that there are no such Saint Venerables in our human race. Lin Mo did not ask what the Myriad Colors Water was used for. Since Madame Yu asked him to find it, it must be of great use. And Madame Yu also said that it was not for her, but for them, for the big shots in the other shore realm. Madame Yu continued, this time the black tide appeared. Ru family, Shu family, and some other shore realm family forces, as well as the sect forces of the Divine City, have all sent people. It's not just us who are looking for the Myriad Colors Water, there are other races as well. And the Myriad Colors Water will attract nearby starry sky beasts. You have to be careful and pay attention to safety. Looking at Yu Liner's performance, Lin Mo was clear that the Myriad Colors Water was not something that just anyone could come into contact with. At least a 4th grade soul was required to look directly at it, which meant that those who went to find the Myriad Colors Water were at least divine venerables. Lin Mo nodded. I will be careful. Is there a quantity requirement? Madame Yu shook her head. The more the better. Okay, I understand. Lin Mo agreed very readily. Seeing Lin Mo agree, Madame Yu breathed a slight sigh of relief, and the smile on her face became even brighter. We have calculated the possible locations where the Myriad Colors Water may appear this time, and have already marked them on the star map. You can just choose one of them. Don't make it too difficult, it doesn't matter if you don't find it, safety first. Madame Yu gave 2 more instructions before ending the projection. At this moment, Madame Yu was in the Divine City, and it was not easy to project over. In the last few seconds of the conversation, the projection obviously became illusory and began to distort. After the projection ended, Yu Liner had not fully recovered, and was still in a daze. Lin Mo didn't call her, and went straight to check the star map. The star map marked 9 locations, and Myriad Colors Water might appear in all 9 locations. The Myriad Colors Water, in ancient times, was also known as the ancestor of all waters. It usually exists in deep space, and only when the black tide is discovered, will it emerge. Moreover, when it is in deep space, it is not static, but constantly moving. Unless one masters the laws of space, even a Saint Venerable cannot enter the deep space to find it. The Myriad Colors Water is a material of the other shore realm, which is very useful to the big shots of the other shore realm, but it has no effect on existences below the other shore. Every time the black tide appears, the various other shore realm families and sects in the Divine City will send people to look for it. There are also divine venerables of various races, starry sky beasts, and so on. It seems that this operation will be very lively. Lin Mo looked at the star map and recorded the 9 places where Myriad Colors Water might appear. The nearest distance to him was about 150 light years, and the farthest was more than 90,000 light years, on the other side of the dark void. He did not know the laws of space, and under the black tide, the teleportation array was difficult to use, so he had to choose one. Since this was the case, he would seek the nearest and not the farthest. Lin Mo decided to go to the nearest location to him. A seductive groan came from his ear, and Yu Liner finally recovered. Yu Liner seemed to have just woken up from a dream, her eyes hazy. What happened just now? Lin Mo said calmly, you saw something you shouldn't have seen. Yuliner's memory seemed to have recovered somewhat, and she probably knew what had happened, and was a little scared. What was that thing? It was so scary. Lin Mo shook his head. When you reach the Divine Venerable, go ask Madame Yu yourself. Yuliner naturally understood the rules and did not ask further. Lin Mo said in a low voice, your mission is complete, go back. After saying that, Lin Mo left the warship, turned into a stream of light, and quickly disappeared into the darkness. Chapter 1736 became a slave to the power of darkness. The bone hell enveloped his whole body, and the Golden Eagle Clan Divine Venerable slave used spatial leap, flying towards his destination. 150 light years, it would take less than 3 days to arrive. Along the way, Lin Mo always opened his Eye of the Soul, for fear of bumping into something again. Through the Eye of the Soul, Lin Mo had a vision far exceeding that of ordinary Divine Venerables. Lin Mo saw a starry sky beast passing by tens of thousands of kilometers away. He saw the other party, but the other party did not find him. Obviously, the starry sky beasts were also affected by the dark void, and their sensing ability was greatly weakened. There were 2 types of starry sky beasts in the dark void. One was ordinary starry sky beasts, and the other was starry sky beasts that possessed the power of darkness. The power of darkness was not the power of the Great World itself, but came from another world, called the Black Blood Great World. In the last words of the Shattered Star Supreme, Lin Mo obtained a lot of information. He knew that the guys who invaded the Great World came from the Black Blood Great World. From this, he analyzed that the power of the Black Blood Great World had 2 significant characteristics. One was the blood-colored energy displayed by the ancient invaders, and the other was the power of darkness in the dark void. These 2 forces, which were completely different from the Great World, could exert amazing destructive power under certain circumstances. Once a starry sky beast possessed the power of darkness, its combat power would be greatly improved. But at the same time, it would lose its mind and become brutal and bloodthirsty. Starry sky beasts with the power of darkness would no longer be affected by the dark void. They would attack the cultivators who came and went. One side was not affected, and the other side's sensing ability was greatly weakened, and the cultivators were in a passive state. Cultivators often died in the sudden attacks of starry sky beasts. Lin Mo also always paid attention to the movements of the starry sky beasts. Fortunately, the dark void was very vast, with a diameter of more than 100,000 light years, and it was not something you could encounter if you wanted to. The probability of bumping into a warship like before was definitely ridiculously small. 2 days later, Lin Mo was getting closer and closer to his destination. He felt a strange aura. With the appearance of this aura, the dark void seemed to become humid. He seemed to have entered the world of water. Under the Eye of the Soul, the law lines belonging to the water system became thick and active. Not one, but all the law lines related to the water system were becoming active. Lin Mo was slightly shocked in his heart. What he had seen before was just Madame Yu's projection, and he had not felt the true power of the myriad colors water. Now he felt it. When the distance was still dozens of light years away, it could affect all water system laws. Myriad colors water, it is indeed the ancestor of all waters, the influence is so great. Being able to affect dozens of light years, Lin Mo saw this level of power for the first time. The materials of the other shore realm were indeed extraordinary. Within its influence, it would be very easy to cultivate the water system laws. Compared with the time room, the human emperor's cultivation field Lost Star Sea was not inferior at all. This point alone was enough to list the myriad colors water as a treasure. The closer the distance, the stronger the influence of the myriad colors water. The water system laws were almost materialized, and Lin Mo vaguely heard bursts of water sound, as if there were invisible waves beating. Lin Mo felt that he had truly entered an invisible water world, and there was no difference from entering the sea. The dark void appeared with a different color, no longer a piece of darkness. Lin Mo suddenly felt a tightness in his heart, and the bone hell instantly opened, covering 100,000 miles of starry sky. 3 4th level God Venerate Golden Eagle Clan God Venerate Realm slaves shot out like lightning, drawing 3 golden streaks. The golden light flourished, and the starry sky suddenly turned golden. The Golden Eagle Clan God Venerates had already collided with the opponent. This was a starry sky behemoth possessing the power of darkness. Its shape resembled a forest whale, with a body length exceeding 10,000 meters, exuding the aura of the God Venerate realm. Although its aura was only at the 1st level of the God Venerate realm, Due to the existence of the power of darkness, its combat power could not be simply measured by realm. The golden light was dazzling, transforming into golden battle blades, carving huge wounds on the starry sky behemoth's body. Fresh blood spurted from the wounds, along with thick black gas. Under the golden light, the black gas looked extremely conspicuous. Roar! The starry sky behemoth let out a fierce roar, the sound transforming into layers of waves, shaking the golden eagle clan god Venerates. Its eyes turned red, emitting a terrifying blood light, and black gas surged from all directions, rapidly healing the wounds. Roar! The starry sky behemoth continued to roar, the sound waves spreading outward in waves. An area of tens of millions of miles was swept by the sound waves, and the space continued to vibrate, as if it were about to collapse. The golden eagle clan god Venerates swam against the sound waves, they put away their wings, turned into sharp arrows, and braved the wind and waves to kill back. After transforming into hell slaves, the golden eagle clan god Venerates had lost most of their spells, and there were not many spells that could be retained. However, their combat instincts were perfectly preserved. They knew when to take what kind of response. After rushing back, the golden wings unfolded again, quickly transforming. Feathers flew out, turning into countless sharp blades, forming a storm in the starry sky, densely falling on the starry sky behemoth. Seeking flowers 0. The starry sky behemoth swayed its huge body, accompanied by its howls, throwing out layers of huge waves. A brilliant galaxy appeared above its head, the Law Galaxy emerged, and the waves became more turbulent. The golden eagle clan god Venerates were once again blasted back by the huge waves, unable to get close. The huge waves turned into large hands, slapping towards the golden eagle clan god Venerates. The black power in the big hands was extremely powerful, sending the golden eagle clan god Venerates flying again and again. The golden eagle clan god Venerates vibrated their wings, and the feathers turned into sharp blades, splitting the huge waves. The two sides fell into a stalemate, and neither could do anything to the other. The 3/4 level god Venerate slaves could only fight to a draw with a 1st level god Venerate starry sky behemoth. Lin Moyu discovered something. After possessing the power of darkness, the starry sky behemoth's power did increase, but its rationality decreased accordingly. Moreover, it seemed that its mastery of spells was only the most basic combat instinct. From this point of view, it was similar to the Golden Eagle clan god Venerates who had become hell slaves. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu had a creepy feeling. The Dark Void is like the skeleton hell, using a unique way to infect the starry sky behemoth. The starry sky behemoth does not possess the power of darkness, but is controlled by the power of darkness, becoming a slave to the power of darkness. The battle between the two worlds was far more cruel than imagined. The ancient war seemed to have ended, but it was still continuing. The Dark Void was the best representative, the power of the Blackblood Great World was still affecting the Great World. The battle had been watched almost enough, and Lin Moyu had also seen the strength of the starry sky behemoth. The 1st level god Venerates starry sky behemoth, after being controlled by the power of darkness, its attack power was almost raised to the 4th level of the god Venerate. But spells and the like became weaker, defense did not change, and the overall strength was almost increased by 1 to 2 levels. As for the Golden Eagle clan god Venerates, although they were 4th level god Venerates, after becoming hell slaves, they had forgotten most of their spells. The reason why cultivators are strong is because they have various spells to bless them, which can exert their strongest combat power. Now that they had no spells, their combat power was greatly reduced, at least by 1 level. The advantage of becoming hell slaves was that they were difficult to kill again, even if they died in battle, they could be resurrected in hell. But their combat power was indeed not as good as when they were alive. The starry sky behemoth also had a huge body, and this was still its home field, with endless power of darkness. With such a comprehensive view, the two sides formed a stalemate. After Lin Moyu grasped enough information, he no longer delayed, and the undead army emerged in response. The next second, countless sword lights illuminated the starry sky. Chapter 1737 He really has a fate with the great Sun Buddha. Millions of sword lights submerged the starry sky behemoth. Its defense did not become stronger, and it could not stop the sword chi of the skeleton god general. In the wailing sound, it was completely smashed. Flesh and blood flew horizontally in the starry sky, and the skeleton hell unfolded, wanting to take it into hell. Lin Moyu's pupils shrank slightly, and black gas was emerging from all the minced meat, and the fresh blood was like boiling water, boiling and sizzling. In the end, they all turned into tuan black gas, completely dissipated, and not even a little bit of residue was left. The skeleton hell failed to keep them, and failed to turn the starry sky behemoth into a hell slave. Lin Moyu looked at this scene, with contemplation in his eyes. The skeleton hell is the power belonging to the great world. The power of darkness belongs to the black blood great world, and the two are not compatible. The starry sky behemoth infected by the power of darkness, strictly speaking, is no longer a creature of the great world, it belongs to the black blood great world. The skeleton hell cannot transform the creatures of the black blood great world into hell slaves. 020, Lin Moyu quickly sorted out his thoughts and understood the cause and effect. Even if the war ended, the black blood great world was still invading the great world in another way. Lin Moyu made a decision in his heart: in the future, when he saw guys controlled by the power of darkness, he would directly kill them. This kind of guy who does not even belong to the great world is not worthy of existing in the great world. He set off again, continuing to move towards his destination. The light of the starry sky became stronger and brighter. A colorful color appeared in the line of sight, which was the light blooming from the water of myriad colors. The light shone through space, shooting from all directions, covering a huge area of more than 10 light years. When there were less than 1 billion kilometers left to the destination, Lin Moyu felt a wave of powerful aura. That was the aura belonging to the god Venerate, with a number exceeding 100. These god Venerate auras were different, coming from different races. If the human race could calculate the area where the water of myriad colors appeared, other races could do the same. The Beyond Realm powerhouses did not move, all those who came were god Venerates. Lin Moyu was the only outlier, a god king. Golden light flashed in his line of sight, and a huge Buddha statue exceeding 100,000 meters appeared out of thin air. Amitabha, the solemn Buddhist chant resounded through the starry sky. The Buddhist race had also come. Lin Moyu's heart trembled, he had no good feelings for the Buddhist race. More than one Buddhist race had died in his hands. The Buddhist race claimed to be indifferent to the world, but what was the truth? All races knew it well. The golden-bodied Buddha statue suddenly appeared, and at the same time, the huge Buddha eyes looked towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu also looked back, looking at the Buddha who was blocking his way. A Buddha of the Golden Eagle race. Lin Mo silently chanted. Many members of the Buddhist clan were converted from other races. Among them were many from the Golden Eagle clan. After joining the Buddhist clan, they identified as Buddhists, claiming no connection to their original race. As for their appearance, the Buddhist clan declared it was merely a vessel, and they cultivated the Buddhist heart. The origin of one's race was unimportant, what mattered was the heart devoted to Buddhism. But was it truly unimportant? Not necessarily. Lin Mo saw the answer in the eyes of the Golden Buddha before him. He wasn't truly staring at him, but at the Golden Eagle clan's god-tier expert beneath his feet. The Buddha's eyes faintly contained anger. He was clearly angered by Lin Mo using a Golden Eagle clan's god-tier expert as a mount. Although he was now a member of the Buddhist clan, he still bore the appearance of the Golden Eagle clan, and Lin Mo's actions were an insult to him. Lin Mo looked at the Golden Buddha. What is it? Lin Mo's attitude was utterly devoid of politeness. Naturally there was no need to be courteous to a race that once tried to kill him. There's a term called scapegoating, and that's exactly what Lin Mo was doing. Human God King, do you know who I am? I am the great Golden Buddha, a mere God King showing disrespect to a Buddha. What is your crime? The great Golden Buddha's voice boomed, creating layers of sound waves like the starry sky beast he had just killed. If Lin Mo were truly only a God King, he would have been severely injured by this roar. Lin Mo glanced at him. I don't care who you are, I'll give you 3 seconds, if you don't move aside, I'll kill you. Although the opponent was a god-tier expert, he was only at the 2nd tier, killing him wouldn't be difficult. Audacious. The great Golden Buddha was enraged, and his 100,000-meter golden body shone even brighter. Behind him rose a great sun. The great sun emitted 10,000 golden rays, each ray like a sharp sword, cutting through space. Lin Mo sneered, you cultivate the lineage of the great Sun Buddha, it seems this lineage is incompatible with me. In the Buddhist clan, a Buddha is equivalent to a god-tier expert, an ancient Buddha is equivalent to the other shore realm, and a Buddha ancestor is equivalent to a saint-tier expert. The former Kongwen Buddha once invited the great Sun Buddha to descend, wanting to kill him. But he was counter-killed instead. From then on, he formed an inextricable karma with the great Sun Buddha lineage. Later, an ancient Buddha pursued and killed him with a palm strike. His feud with the Buddhist clan deepened. Above the great sun, countless Buddhist clan characters appeared. A peculiar aura permeated, enveloping Lin Mo. The sea of suffering is boundless, turn back to the shore. Take refuge in my Buddha, and enjoy eternal bliss. The great golden Buddha chanted Buddhist scriptures, wanting to convert Lin Mo. How could Lin Mo, with his 5th grade purple jade soul, be affected by this? A sneer appeared on his face. 3 seconds are up. The bone hell suddenly expanded, instantly enveloping the golden Buddha. The undying flames in hell surged out, burning the golden body. The 3 Golden Eagle Clan God tier expert slaves charged out, heading straight for the great golden Buddha's main body. Turning Golden Eagle Clan God tier experts into puppets, you are guilty. The great golden Buddha's anger intensified. He proclaimed the Buddha's name, and his 100,000-meter golden body pressed down with a palm. In an instant, golden light rained down, turning into sharp swords that shot down rapidly. Relying on their battle instincts, the Golden Eagle Clan God tier expert slaves dodged the golden swords, quickly approaching. The Buddhist clan characters on the Great Sun suddenly seemed to come alive, flying out from the Great Sun-like mountain ranges, suppressing them. The Buddhist clan characters generated a huge suction force, enveloping the starry sky, and the Golden Eagle Clan God tier expert slave speed suddenly slowed down. So-called Buddhist clan characters, they're actually runes. Lin Mo saw through the essence of the Buddhist clan characters at a glance, with a hint of disdain. He tapped his fingers 3 times in a row, and 3 golden talismans flew out, landing perfectly on the 3 slaves. Golden armor emerged, blocking the Buddhist clan characters. The great golden Buddha's expression changed slightly, and he softly shouted, "Taoist soldiers, descend to fight the enemy." In an instant, a Buddhist clan Taoist army of several thousand flew out from the Great Sun. The Buddhist Taoist army is a secret technique of the Buddhist clan. When a Buddha uses it, they can summon a Taoist army that is only 1 tier lower than themselves. The number ranges from hundreds to thousands. Although there are many Taoist soldiers, the time they can be maintained is very short, only 1 minute. As long as this minute is dragged out, the Taoist soldiers will naturally disappear. But Lin Mo was too lazy to wait for this minute. Competing in numbers. In an instant, thousands of skeleton divine generals appeared in the starry sky, heading towards the great golden Buddha. Pure white and fierce sword energy, like shooting stars, traversed the starry sky. The sword energy bombarded the golden Buddha, and the golden light of the golden Buddha was immediately scattered, with countless cracks appearing on the Buddha's body. The sword energy bombarded the great sun, and the great sun tottered. Lin Mo shook his head and chuckled, "What is this? It's not worth a fart." Audacious. Blaspheming the Buddha ancestor, you are guilty. The great golden Buddha roared. The Taoist soldiers turned and headed towards the skeleton divine generals. But before they could even touch the skeleton divine generals, they were already annihilated by the sword energy. Lin Mo coldly said, "Virtual puppets created from runes, what Buddhist clan secret technique, it's still not worth a fart." The great golden Buddha's Buddha eyes widened in anger, "Mere God King, today I will definitely suppress and kill you." Lin Mo chuckled, "You're doomed too." Chapter 1738. Your brain doesn't work well. The magnificent great sun fell from the sky. The great sun emitted a shocking force, rumbling loudly, and the skeleton divine generals were all sent flying. Amitabha, respectfully invite the great Sun Buddha. The great golden Buddha chanted Buddhist scriptures, his eyes filled with piety. Within the great sun, a Buddha shadow appeared. Lin Mo sensed a powerful soul. Unlike Kong Wen Buddha's invitation of the great Sun Buddha, which was just a phantom with weak combat power. This time, it was a wisp of the great Sun Buddha's soul that was invited. Being a wisp of soul equivalent to the saint tier realm, its power was self-evident. In Lin Mo's perception, this wisp of soul was no weaker than a high-level god tier expert. A bit interesting, Lin Mo was still fearless. Although the great Sun Buddha's soul was powerful, it was too far away to be of immediate help, and how much power could it exert after crossing boundless distances? If it really wanted to attack with the power of the other shore realm, did it really think the other shore realm experts of other races were decorations? How powerful was House Saint tier expert, daring to single-handedly kill his way into the Buddhist clan, suppressing the Buddhist clan to the point where they had to compromise? Even if it wasn't that the Buddhist clan was afraid of House Saint tier expert, it at least showed that House Saint tier expert's power was among the best even among Saint tier experts. Within the Great Sun Buddha's phantom rapidly solidified. He sat in the Buddha position within the Great Sun, his gaze sweeping over Lin Mo. Do you know your crime? Lin Mo Yu frowned. Are you annoying, saying the same thing over and over? Lin Mo Yu felt that the people of the Buddhist clan were not very bright, repeating the same words countless times. Or perhaps, they were used to being so strong, always putting a big label on others before fighting. But for Lin Mo Yu, it didn't matter. Because he was equally strong and didn't waste words. With the ancient jade piece in hand, he activated it directly. He didn't need to use the source magic, nor did he need to consume all of his power of faith. Just activating it with his own power, plus 1,000 portions of the power of faith, was enough for the ancient jade piece to unleash a strike equivalent to the 8th level of Divine Lord. It was more than enough to destroy a trace of soul from the Great Sun Buddha clan that had come from afar. A huge fist appeared in the starry sky, flying towards the Great Sun Buddha. Ancient talisman, the Great Sun Buddha exclaimed. His first reaction was to escape. But at this moment, he had already been locked onto by the ancient talisman giant fist, which generated a huge suction force, giving him no chance to escape. The suction force was not only aimed at the Great Sun, but also at the soul. The Great Sun rapidly deformed in the suction of the ancient talisman giant fist, being stretched into a noodle shape. The Great Sun collapsed and annihilated silently the moment it touched the ancient talisman giant fist. The Great Golden Buddha stared blankly at this scene, unable to speak. Lin Mo Yu had already known the result, not feeling surprised at all, and smiled faintly. It's your turn. The Great Golden Buddha suddenly came back to his senses. His first reaction was to escape. His vision was enveloped by white light, and only then did he realize that he was already surrounded by the skeleton god generals. Unbeknownst to Wen, at least 100 skeletons had appeared in the starry sky, each filled with murderous intent, and each at the 2nd level of Divine King. He roared violently, his whole body exploding. Golden light shone brightly, all the golden feathers exploding. At the critical moment of life and death, he actually used the life-saving means of the Golden Eagle clan. The space began to roll like waves, and after shooting out all the golden feathers, it was a space leap. The combination of the two was enough for him to escape most dangerous areas. But not this time, the space leap lost its effect. A formation plate unfolded beside Lin Mo Yu, a space-locking formation, sealing the surrounding space. Lin Mo Yu shook his head gently. Unexpectedly, the Buddha in the Buddhist clan would eventually have to rely on the means of the Golden Eagle clan to save his life. It's a pity, I guessed it. I would like to ask, are you from the Buddhist clan, or the Golden Eagle clan? The Great Golden Buddha's face was extremely ugly. At this moment his golden feathers had all exploded, his whole body was bald, very ugly. Lin Mo Yu waited for a second. Since you don't say, then I won't ask. I will send you to the land of ultimate bliss, so that you can obtain eternity. The Great Golden Buddha's face changed drastically, and he shouted angrily, you dare to kill me? Lin Mo Yu sighed, your head is not very bright. Stop. A roar came from afar, and at the same time, a powerful aura swept over. Lin Mo Yu had no intention of stopping at all, and snapped his fingers. The skeleton god generals waved out 10,000 sword energies, engulfing the Great Golden Buddha almost instantly. In the screams, the Great Golden Buddha's flesh and bones separated, and were cut into pieces by the sword energy. The skeleton hell enveloped it, wanting to turn the Great Golden Buddha into a hell slave. The aura from afar approached in an instant, and another Buddha approached. I told you to stop, didn't you hear? This Buddha had a very bad temper, pointing his vajra towards Lin Mo Yu and killing him. Lin Mo Yu took out a Divine Lord's head, which turned into dust silently. Boom! With a loud noise, the Buddha who had just flown over screamed and was blasted back. Tough life, didn't get killed. Let's see how long you can live. Before Lin Mo Yu could finish speaking, the skeleton god generals had already pounced over. Sword energy flickered in the starry sky, and the Buddha waved his vajra, and a 10,000-meter giant vajra suddenly appeared in the starry sky, blocking most of the sword energy. Only a small amount of sword energy landed on him, beating him to a bloody pulp, screaming again and again. He was a 3rd-level Buddha, equivalent to the 3rd level of Divine Lord, and his strength was very strong. But he was preemptively attacked by Lin Mo Yu and fell into a disadvantage. The skeleton god generals launched a siege against him, and Lin Mo Yu moved his mind, and the skeleton hell enveloped him like teleportation. The Golden Eagle clan's Divine Lord slave immediately entangled him and launched a fierce attack. What shocked him the most was that the great golden Buddha who had just died actually resurrected in front of him and attacked him. He came to save the great golden Buddha, but was attacked by the great golden Buddha. Who could he reason with about this kind of mood? Ah! In his roar, his whole body burned with raging flames. A flame lotus rose into the air, scattering boundless flames, almost burning through the skeleton hell in an instant. The skeleton hell collapsed and disappeared. Lin Mo Yu was slightly surprised. Not bad magic weapon. The flame lotus was at least a middle-grade divine lord magic weapon, and the skeleton hell was extremely fragile in front of it. The flame lotus kept spinning, continuously scattering flames. The skeleton god generals were shrouded in flames and were all seriously injured. Lin Mo Yu waved his hand and summoned the military 057 regiment ruler, immediately treating the skeleton god generals. The La Galaxy also appeared above the heads of the skeleton god generals, and the offensive suddenly became more and more fierce. Strange stars rose behind Lin Mo Yu, and the law field unfolded, covering a large area of the starry sky. The immortal law rolled and was blessed on the skeleton god generals. The skeleton god generals originally had the blessing of the immortal law, but now it has become even stronger. The Buddha chanted Buddhist scriptures. The flame range in the flame lotus quickly shrank, only covering himself, unable to fight back. The flame lotus can attack and defend. It is indeed a good thing. Under the protection of the flame lotus, it will take some time for the skeleton god generals to kill him. At this time, more auras rushed towards here, all from the Buddhist clan, at least 4. Lin Mo Yu snorted lightly, and the soul shooting bow appeared above his head. Soul power was injected into it, condensing into a sharp arrow. Stop, please be merciful. The sound of the soul came from afar. Lin Mo Yu was unmoved. He never shows mercy to enemies. The soul shooting bow flashed slightly, and the soul arrow flew out. The Buddha let out a scream, and the whole person exploded. The flame lotus quickly flew in another direction. Didn't die yet. Lin Mo Yu felt that the other party was not dead. What exploded just now was just a substitute. He used a magic weapon to save himself from death once. The Buddhist clan really has a lot of magic weapons. Should I go rob them one day? Chapter 1739. Do you believe that the Holy Lord will kill into the Buddhist clan? This Buddha, holding a vajra and carrying a flame lotus, came over aggressively, but fled in a mess, not daring to let out a fart. Although his life was saved, he lost a substitute treasure. Such treasures are rarely seen and are extremely precious and rare. Not only did I fail to save anyone this time, but I also lost a treasure, a complete loss. Finally, the last few Buddhist divine venerables who rushed over joined him. There were a total of 6 Buddhas, the strongest of whom should have reached the advanced level, equivalent to the 7th rank of the human race's divine venerable, making him difficult to deal with. However, Lin Mo didn't fear. If a fight really broke out, even with some cost, it was possible to kill them all. Lin Mo said with a cold expression, "What, are you planning to avenge the great golden Buddha?" Among the 6 Buddhas, the one with the highest cultivation level chanted, "Amitabha, why did Benefactor kill the great golden Buddha?" Lin Mo chuckled, "He attacked me first." As he spoke, Lin Mo glanced at the golden eagle race divine venerable mount under his feet. The several Buddhas basically understood why. Although they had joined the Buddhist race, they still retained the habits of their own race. Seeing their former clansmen being trampled underfoot like a mount, it was normal for them to feel anger. But this venerable one told you to stop before, why didn't you stop? The Vajra Buddha said angrily. Now that he had companions and helpers, he had confidence. Lin Mo looked at him like an idiot. Have you gone stupid from chanting Buddhist scriptures? You told me to stop, so I have to stop. Who do you think you are? Do you think you are an ancient Buddha? If you want me to stop, let your ancient Buddha come and talk to me. Lin Mo was extremely forceful, not giving him any face. A mere divine king actually wanted the ancient Buddha to talk to him. He was slapping the Buddhist race in the face, loudly. Anger appeared on the faces of the Buddhas, and the leading Buddha said in a low voice, "Benefactor, have you thought about the consequences?" Lin Mo sneered, "Are you threatening me? Who gave you the guts to threaten me? Believe it or not, if you dare to attack, a saint venerable will kill their way into your Buddhist race tomorrow." The expressions of the Buddhas changed drastically. Lin Mo kept mentioning ancient Buddha and now even mentioned Saint Venerable. It was unknown whether this guy was just bold or really had an unusual background. At this moment, another powerful aura flew from afar, and Lin Mo glanced at it. "All right, now there's really no way to fight." The people who came were human race divine venerables, and there was more than one. 7 human race divine venerables flew over. The leading divine venerable's aura was powerful, stronger than several Buddhas. The pressure permeated the starry sky, firmly suppressing the Buddhas. Lin Mo judged from the pressure that the other party's strength should be at the 8th rank of divine venerable, not yet at the 9th rank. Forbidden word Buddha, long time no see. The person who came said with a smile to the leading Buddha. Forbidden word Buddha announced a Buddhist title and saluted slightly, Benefactor Yu Chungfang, long time no see. Hearing the name, Lin Mo knew that this person should be from the Yu family. Not only was he from the Yu family, but everyone who came with him was as well. They had similar clothing and the same markings on their bodies. Even their appearance and temperament were somewhat similar. Yu Chungfang's eyes were smiling. What, do you want to bully the few with the many? The smile in his eyes carried killing intent, as if forbidden word Buddha would attack at the slightest disagreement. It could be seen that although the two knew each other, their relationship was not good. Forbidden word Buddha's eyes turned slightly, and he shook his head. This is just a misunderstanding, we didn't want to do anything, we'll take our leave first. After saying that, forbidden word Buddha led his people away. Watching them disappear from sight, Yu Chungfang then looked at Lin Mo. You should be Mr. Lin. Lin Mo saluted. Greetings, seniors. Yu Chungfang and the others quickly dispersed, avoiding Lin Mo's etiquette. Yu Chungfang said with a wry smile, this old man has ordered, she is a friend with Mr. Lin, how can we accept Mr. Lin's salute? Lin Mo was a little helpless. Then all right, Senior Yu Chungfang, why did you come here? Yu Chungfang said, we sensed the aura of our clansman and came to take a look, but we didn't expect to run into Mr. I don't know what happened just now. Why did Mr. have a conflict with the Buddhist race's people? Lin Mo briefly explained what happened just now, and everyone present was stunned. In their eyes, Lin Mo was truly a divine king. They didn't know why the old ancestor wanted to be friends with a divine king. Now they knew, this was no ordinary divine king, but a top-notch super genius. Madame Yu made friends with Lin Mo because she felt that Lin Mo would grow to the same height as her in the future. Now it seemed that it was very likely. A divine king reversed and killed a divine venerable, and it was still a second-rank divine venerable. But looking at the mount under Lin Mo's feet, it didn't seem abnormal. Yu Chungfang and the others moved forward with Lin Mo. Lin Mo put away his mount. At this time the destination was not far away, and the mount's space leap ability was no longer needed. Moreover, after arriving there were quite a few Golden Eagle race divine venerables. Although he wasn't afraid, there was no need to cause trouble. The divine venerables who came here were all for the water of myriad colors, not to fight to the death. Even if they wanted to fight, they had to use their strength to compete for the water of myriad colors, instead of engaging in unnecessary fighting. This place was not only for the human race and the Golden Eagle race. Once the two races fought, it would benefit other races instead. Yu Chungfang was very polite, introducing the situation here to Lin Mo. Under the surge of the black tide, some water of myriad colors will be brought from the deep space to the surface. The place where it appears is not fixed, but there are generally precursors. In the place where the water of myriad colors appears, there will be anomalies. We just need to follow the anomalies to find the water of myriad colors. The anomalies have a wide range, and a large number of competitors will be attracted at that time, and there will inevitably be melee. At that time, we will do our best to assist Mr. Lin in obtaining the water of myriad colors. Yu Chungfang obviously wanted to get closer to Lin Mo, assist Lin Mo in obtaining the water of myriad colors, and even was willing to give up his own opportunity to obtain the water of myriad colors. Lin Mo knew that if they obtained the water of myriad colors, they would definitely be rewarded, and the reward would not be small. But now they were willing to give up the reward. Lin Mo said with a smile, Senior is too polite. As far as I know, the water of myriad colors often emerges at the same time. Yu Chungfang nodded. Indeed, Qian de Jiao, generally speaking, the water of myriad colors does not appear alone. The water of myriad colors will appear in several waves. Each wave is about 5 to 7 drops, and the total amount is about 100 drops. But what we can get is only about 20 to 30%. This was Yu Chungfang's experience over the years. He had come to seize the water of myriad colors more than once. No race can monopolize the water of myriad colors. If they occupy too much, they will be attacked by the group. Lin Mo thought for a while. I have a suggestion here. I think you seniors can act according to the original plan. I believe you seniors have a lot of experience in obtaining the water of myriad colors. With you seniors around, at least we can guarantee the water of myriad colors we obtain. As for me, let me act alone. Whether I can obtain the water of myriad colors depends on my own luck. Even if I can't obtain the water of myriad colors, it doesn't matter, it's enough if the seniors have gains. If I have gains, it's just icing on the cake, it's an unexpected surprise. Chapter 1740. You don't understand the difference between divine kings. Lin Mo spoke extremely politely. The divine venerables of the Yu family listened very comfortably. Several of them were indeed very experienced. As long as they took action, they would definitely gain a lot of water of myriad colors. But Madame Yu said at the time that if they encountered Lin Mo, they must ensure his safety as much as possible. Madame Yu even said that Lin Mo's safety was more important than the water of myriad colors. Yu Chengfeng was still a little hesitant. After all, his old ancestor had ordered him. But if he really had to give up the myriad colors water, he would be somewhat unwilling. Lin Mo Yu saw his concerns. Senior, you don't need to worry about my safety, I have enough self-protection. As long as those at the other shore realm don't take action, no one can kill me. Lin Mo Yu actually didn't say half of what he was thinking. Even if those at the other shore realm did take action, they shouldn't think about killing him in a short amount of time. He still had the life-saving trump card given by the Holy Venerable Hao, which could allow him to escape from the hands of those at the other shore realm. Seeing Lin Mo Yu being so insistent and full of confidence, Yu Chengfeng could only choose to believe Lin Mo Yu. Yu Chengfeng instructed, if there is danger, call for help immediately, we will arrive as quickly as possible. Lin Mo Yu smiled, don't worry, I wish you seniors a fruitful harvest. At the core of God City Star region, all the big shots at the other shore realm sat down to discuss their experiences in cultivation. To them, things like secluded cultivation were no longer of much significance, the gains from sitting and discussing were greater than cultivating alone. The principle of using the stones from other mountains to polish jade was fully demonstrated at this moment. Sometimes, while discussing, they would gain some insights. An ice phoenix, with its entire body water blue, flew from the starry sky, and arrived in front of everyone in just a few flashes. Old Lin smiled, Madame Yu, has little friend Lin gone to the dark void? Madame Yu nodded, he has already gone, I wonder if he can gain anything. Old Lin said, little friend Lin's trip, the myriad colors water is just a bonus, the real purpose is that well. Madame Yu whispered, it's not that easy to obtain, strength, opportunity, and luck are indispensable. Old Lin chuckled, we should always try, I still want to use the myriad colors water to make tea. Madame Yu rolled her eyes at him, then you can just wait. In the center of the human race God City, in a magnificent and grand palace. The conversation between Holy Venerable Hao and Holy Venerable Tian continued. Holy Venerable Tian had 100 years of divine wandering, and after it ended, he needed to sort out his thoughts, and express his insights one by one, and discuss them with Holy Venerable Hao. Such a thing had happened more than once, and each time the duration would not be short. At this moment, Holy Venerable Hao's ears twitched slightly, revealing a smile, little friend Lin has gone to the dark void. Holy Venerable Tian asked, myriad colors water? Holy Venerable Hao nodded, it just so happens that the black tide has appeared, and it just so happens that he has gone, so let him try it out. Holy Venerable Tian shook his head and sighed softly, it's difficult, we also went when we were young, but we didn't manage to obtain it. Holy Venerable Hao took a sip of tea, slowed down his tone, and said slightly in a low voice, it is indeed very difficult, opportunity, strength, and luck are indispensable. So we are just letting him try it out, and not forcing it. We didn't even tell him about the well, let everything take its course. His words were similar to Madame Yu's words. Let everything take its course. Holy Venerable Tian's eyes moved slightly, although it is said to let everything take its course, we must also be prepared, some guy's hands and feet are not clean. Holy Venerable Hao chuckled, Old Shah has already gone, don't worry. Hearing that Old Shah had already gone, Holy Venerable Tian couldn't help but reveal a smile, not bad, with Old Shah around, then everything will be fine. In the dark void, Lin Mo Yu officially stepped into the gushing land of the myriad colors water. The gushing land has a range of about 1 billion kilometers, and for the dark void, which is as high as 100,000 light-years in diameter, the gushing land is just a small inconspicuous spot. But it is such a small place, its range of influence is as high as dozens of light-years. At the center of the gushing land, countless colors shone through. The colors were layered upon layers, like waves rolling in. At the same time, springs of water were constantly gushing out from the inside. The colors of the springs were different and could not be specifically described. But whether it was waves or springs, they were all transformed by laws, and were not real. They scattered in the starry sky, quickly disappeared, and their traces were hard to find. Being in the gushing land, Lin Moyu could clearly feel the shaking from space. The entire space was twisting, as if something was about to rush out from the deepest part of the space. The power of the black tide Heichao gathered and concentrated here, like a volcanic eruption, squeezing out the deepest things in space. It is said that in the deepest layer of space, there are many strange things. Once upon a time, a powerful magic weapon gushed out in the fountain land. That magic weapon surpassed the divine Venerable realm, and possessed intelligence, which caused countless people to snatch it at that time. Magic weapons that surpassed the divine Venerable realm were too rare, their value could not be estimated, and everyone wanted to obtain it. But in the end, no one could obtain it. Those who approached the magic weapon were all beheaded by the magic weapon, and only one high-level divine Venerable was injured but not killed. In the end, the magic weapon left on its own. Space has many layers, and only those who master the law of space can roam in the various layers of space. If you want to enter the deepest layer of space, then you must reach the other shore, and turn the law of space into a rule. Currently, only the starry sky fishmen race is likely to do it. Even with Holy Venerable Hao's ability, it is not possible. It seems that countless secrets are buried in the deepest layer of space. If there is a chance in the future, I must go and see. The power of the black tide is getting stronger and stronger, and the shaking of space is becoming more and more intense. The myriad colors water is about to be born, and the divine venerables in the gushing land are starting to be on guard one by one. Hundreds of divine venerables from various races, at the same time, concentrated their minds and held their breaths, and the huge pressure of the divine venerables condensed in the starry sky. Lin Moyu was among the many divine venerables, and seemed extremely eye-catching. A divine king was actually on par with the divine venerables, which was puzzling. Many divine venerables' gazes were focused on Lin Moyu, looking at this anomaly. Lin Moyu didn't care about this, he could be here because of his strength, not his realm. A divine venerable of the demon race was very close to Lin Moyu, only 100 kilometers apart. He said with disdain, "Are there no people left in your human race? To actually let a divine king come over, is he here to be cannon fodder?" Judging from his aura, he was only at the second level of the divine venerable realm. Judging from his appearance, he was covered in flames, and should be from the hell lineage of the demon race. Lin Moyu looked at him. "Who are you?" The demon race divine venerable raised his head proudly. "This venerable is divine venerable Red Flame." Red Flame. Lin Moyu was stunned. This guy was also called Red Flame. He had also impersonated Red Flame before. Judging from his appearance, Red Flame was much better than this guy. Divine Venerable Red Flame snorted coldly. "What kind of eyes do you have, kid?" Lin Moyu shook his head lightly. "It's okay, Divine Venerable Red Flame, right, I've remembered it, I'll kill you first if I have the chance." Divine Venerable Red Flame was stunned for half a second, then burst out laughing. "Kid, you're very arrogant, it seems you don't know how big the gap between a Divine King and a Divine Venerable is. It only takes a move of my finger to kill you." Lin Moyu said in a low voice. "It seems you also don't know the gap between Divine Kings." Divine Venerable Red Flame was amused. "I'll just crush you to death first. Anyway, the myriad colors water hasn't appeared yet, crushing you to death won't take much effort." As he said that, he was about to make a move, when suddenly he looked behind Lin Moyu. Colorful colors bloomed in the starry sky, and at the same time, a strange aura flew out from the gushing land. The colors bloomed not only in one spot, but in 7 spots. The laws of the water system reached their peak, and the starry sky became extremely humid, as if it was in the ocean. Immediately afterwards, the myriad colors water gushed out from the light.